That's just the way you make me feel. That's just the way you make me. That's just the way you make me feel. Hey. Whoa. And no, so unreal. The way you make me. That's just the way you make me feel. It's like I'm gonna mess me up now. That's just the way you make me feel.
Go off, King.
I love that song.
You. No, they ate that intro.
They did.
I was like, oh, I'm excited. Like, it was so cute.
They amped us up.
They really did. They were like, y'all, buckle. Y'all thought the last year's intro was good. This is a music video.
Yes.
A whole music video. Amazing.
Although
amazing.
I came here for love will always be in my heart.
Yeah.
Just saying.
The way the whole song, just the like I'm hearing it all. I'm hearing it all in
the
my
suitcase.
LOL.
Now I want to rewatch that intro. Anyways,
I do have comments on the intro, but overall I liked it.
Well, on that note, hey y'all.
Hey y'all.
Welcome to the Shave It All. I'm Brandon.
I'm Maggie.
And we are starting our Love Island journey.
We are. It actually kicked off last night.
It did. We had our first Patreon live watch party.
And it was so much fun.
It was. Shout out to Yulissa,
Nicole,
yes, and my cousin Madison.
Thanks for joining us. There were a couple other people, but we couldn't really see everyone's name unless they were in the chat. But it was so much fun.
It was good, and we're just thankful that anyone signed up.
Yeah,
so honestly, thank you so much.
Thanks for joining us. And like, this is like, it was super low key. We're just hanging out. We're gonna zhuzh it up a little bit.
Oh yeah.
The next time, well, not the next time, but the next time after.
Two watch parties. We have something exciting coming.
Yeah. The next one will be virtual. I'm going to Canada against my will.
Abandoning us already so early in the season.
But we'll be back. But yeah, it was super fun. So, if y'all can't join live, you can watch the recording after the fact. Mm-hmm. Or if you want to join live with us, you can comment in the chat. You cannot. You can just enjoy our commentary, and it's a good time. So we watched the show, and then afterwards we kind of gave our thoughts, saw what the chat was thinking. It was cool. It was really fun. I enjoyed it.
And those who were there were really cool and funny as well. Yeah. And it's nice to know we have like listeners that are so cool. We already knew that, but it was good to even like meet for kind of virtually actually be able to talk.
Yeah. It was cool.
It was cool. It was
I'm excited
fun.
for the next one.
Same. So if y'all want to be a part of that, we're at Patreon at the Shade of It All, and it's only $3.
$3.
Come on.
Join us. It's amazing. Definitely worth the price.
Yes, it is. But in the meantime, in between time, we gotta dive into these first 4 episodes of Love Island. Mm-hmm. We got a journey ahead of us right now, but we got this.
Yeah. We're gonna cover a lot today. Use the chapter, skip ahead if you need to. This is gonna be a long one, but we're gonna have a good conversation. I mean, there's a lot to talk about.
There is.
These Islanders.
These Islanders, they're growing on me. Not that I hated them at first, but I think it's normal, like, in the beginning to kind of be like, I'm not sure about this.
Really?
Or, like, for people to, like, you're like, what's going on here? Yeah. But then, like, pretty quickly, they, like...
Yeah, it was interesting, my progression of understanding people throughout, because the first episode, everybody was being very nice, very calm, cool, collected. I was like, okay, I'm taking you as you are. As you act, we will comment on it, and then our opinions will adjust and ebb and flow.
Yes, because there's definitely some people who, like Yulissa tried to say before she was taken away in the night, are showing their true colors.
Yeah.
So that's fun.
Yeah.
Should we get started?
Let's get into it, Brandon.
I'm gonna grab my phone. I got my notes on my phone.
I'm so funny. I made like an Islander glossary so I could remember everybody.
LOL.
But this time I actually think I'm remembering most people. Granted, I blanked on Austin a couple times last night because...
I mean, that's fine.
You kind of forget about him and Charlie. But yeah.
Well, in the meantime, let's get started. We got the premiere going on.
Yes.
And let me find my notes. I have them in all different notes, y'all. So we got that Janelle Monáe opening, which was really fun.
Yeah.
And we got to see all the Islanders, and then Ariana at the end. She was slaying per usual.
Yes, she was.
So what were the notes you had?
Well, I just noticed. So the intro gave everybody, I want to say, like 30 seconds of dancing. 20 to 30 seconds of dancing, right? So they all like had their moment. They came in on a horse or in the beach or by the pool, right? Jeremiah got like 10 seconds and then they moved on.
Jeremiah. I don't even remember his part.
He was on the jet ski for like 10 seconds and then they moved on. I was like, oh, because it was near the end. And I was like, this one is a lot shorter than the others. And then they just moved to Bella and the containers, and Bella was eating it up in the containers. And then they just moved on. And I was like, oh, maybe Jeremiah can't dance.
I wouldn't be surprised.
But I was like, Austin wasn't really doing much either. Like, he didn't seem like a big dancer, but I just thought it was so cute.
Olandria stuck out to me as not really dancing that well.
Really?
She was a little stiff. She looked good.
Yeah.
But it was just very like...
This is like the first thing the cast had to do, and I'm like, yo, I bet it was so nerve-wracking. They're like, yeah, so these are the lyrics you have to remember, and they did it right too. Nobody was off, like with the voice matching the lyrics. Like, they were on it. But Ace definitely stood out because he's a dancer.
Oh yes, Ace had the charisma. I liked Shelly because she was like laying down and then the sprinklers came on.
Yeah.
Huda she had a cute one in the pool.
Yeah.
It was all cute.
Yeah.
You know? And then of course Ariana was just like, let me show y'all how to really do it.
I noticed Nick was riding a bike, but it looked like he was about to fall off of it. I was like, Nick, are you good?
He did.
He'll either fall off or he was like gonna hit something. I was like, Nick.
Nick.
Very funny.
He's an interesting one.
Yes.
We'll get to him. But so then we get to the arrivals. And the voiceover guy, Ian Serling, talks, and I'm like, I've missed him.
Ian, we missed you.
Yes. And then they're turning the lights on. They're just showing us all the villa and everything.
Yeah,
and
it's got some new stuff.
Yes, the photo booth, the speakeasy.
And a sauna.
Yes.
It's like, I wonder if anyone will go in those places.
I'm like, we're home. Well, we've seen people go in the photo booth.
They like the photo booth and the speakeasy so far.
No sauna action yet, but I'm sure at some point we'll get there. Whew. But Shelly and Olandria are the first ones to arrive.
They were so stinking cute. I was
were.
My Shayla, y'all are adorable.
They looked amazing.
They did. They did their little intros and then they held hands and walked inside. I was like, my heart. Oh my gosh, y'all are so cute.
Olandria had the blue, and then Shelly had the kind of like ombre, like slightly rainbow look. I almost want to say this is a deep cut if you watch Real Housewives of Orange County. I feel like it was Taylor Armstrong's reunion look. Don't ask me how I remember that. But it looked very similar if it was not. But they were just like geeking out and pouring champagne and cheersing and all that. And it was a cute moment.
Should we talk about what they said, or does it not? I don't know if it matters.
About what? Like
their intro, where they're from, all that stuff.
Oh, we could briefly give them a little intro. Yeah.
So Shelly's 27, born in Miami, but she lives in Queens. She's a day trader. She alluded to being queer.
Yes, because she was like, I'll hook up with girls, I'll hook up with guys.
Yeah,
but when people ask for a label, I'm Shelly. That's the label.
Yeah, that's her label.
And I'm like, okay.
And then she's like, I'm an open book. Ask me anything, and I like good sex.
Period.
Solid
intro and introduction to Shelly.
Yeah. Then Olandria. I didn't catch her age. Did you?
She's 27.
27.
Yes. Alabama.
Once a Southern man. She's in the elevator industry.
The elevator in the escalator industry. Which I was wondering, I was like, what do you mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, what do you do with it?
I guess maybe she's a technician.
That'd be cool.
Or maybe she, finds out where to put them.
Oh, maybe.
I was like, I I need some information on what is the elevator and escalator industry?
Right. Is this an industry we should all be in?
Because anytime I've been at a hotel and the elevator is broken, it's broken for a while. Like, I think they don't have an in-house person who can fix the elevator. It's somebody else.
Yeah.
But she likes to cook. She's first generation to go to college, I think she said.
Yes, and then she went to HBCU.
And she's been single for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that's a long time. And I'm actually really glad we're talking about this right now, because it's making their actions make a little sense.
It does. Now that we're going back and seeing this, now thinking about what happened, I'm like, okay, yeah, I like her. She's funny.
Yeah.
But they, that's the intros, and then they're just like, the men are lucky to have us. I mean, look at us.
Yeah. They're like, oh my gosh, we're so cute. You're so cute. Let's have a drink. Yeah. Yes.
And then Huda arrives. They all hit it off right away.
They did. Oh yeah, because she like joined them, and they're like, come over here. And she's like, we have a drink for you.
Yes.
She's 24.
Mm-hmm.
Fitness coach. Lover girl. Middle Eastern. She has a 4-year-old daughter. She had her at 19. And she's been single for 4 years.
Yes.
That makes sense as well.
It does. Also, there's something, and I saw this discourse a little online, or I saw someone mention it, how Huda always calls them like, we're like sisters, we're family. There was a moment in this beginning where I clocked, like, it felt a little forced, disingenuous, or I don't know, maybe it's her delivery, like when she's like, hey besties, like all this. It's kind of like, I don't know with her.
Well, so like by saying that, she's not being genuine?
Or like, I think she's putting the labels on it to build connection when it's not there yet.
I could see that, but I also feel like sometimes people are just like, hey bestie, like it's like a saying almost.
Mm-hmm.
But she could be trying to manifest the future friendships that she wants.
Yeah.
So maybe it's a bit of both.
Yes, I could see either. But regardless, they all sit down to talk, and pretty much right away, Huda's like, so how old do y'all want to be when you have kids?
Yeah.
And Shelly's like, I don't really know. It depends when I meet my man. And Alandra is like, I think by 30.
30, yeah.
And she's like, well, I'm a mom.
They're like, you're a mom? Oh my gosh, that's great.
But I don't want anyone to know. But I'm telling y'all right when we sit down.
Okay. We'll be quiet.
They're like, sure. She's building these connections. She's like, sisters, friends, besties. I have a kid. Don't tell anyone.
In hindsight, I'm just like, why? Why?
Yeah, I'm almost like, if you're not going to tell anyone, then don't tell anyone.
Yeah.
At least, or at your own time. I mean, or tell them when you want. I don't know.
I mean, she's a mom, and that's part of who she is. So maybe it's like top of mind.
Yeah.
And she probably knows, or maybe she's assuming that no one else will be a mom. So like it's kind of like wearing it on her sleeve, and she's like, I'm comfortable with you guys, I'm gonna tell you. I don't mind that she told them, but if it's something you want to keep a secret, that's an interest, like for it to be like one of the first things you tell everybody.
I don't want to tell anyone this. I'm a mom, by the way.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, we just sat down, but sure. Regardless, though, I get it. Then Bella and Trumpy Yulissa arrive.
Bella is 22 from Hawaii. I think is how she said it.
Born in Oregon.
I said she's very happy-go-lucky.
She can be Delulu, but like I'm always like positive. Like that's a thing. Like I'm trying to find my man, and if I find my man, hey, we're gonna find him. And it's just like, yeah.
That's exactly how she talks. And I didn't think anything of it. I was like, oh, she's so pretty.
Maggie's the only one that didn't notice.
Maybe I'm just, I don't know. Maybe for the girls, because I know that I critique men heavier-ish. I try to give them the benefit of the doubt.
As we should.
But like, I just accepted all the girls as they came in. And when the boys started talking, I was like, ew, why does he sound like that? Oh, like I did it for the guys, not the girls. She had a long distance relationship that was super long. She leans towards nonchalant guys, but she wants to branch out. That she doesn't want that to be her type anymore.
Mm-hmm. She wants them to be loud about her love.
Yeah, like don't be nonchalant about me.
Yeah.
I know that's right, Bella.
And then I think that was it with Bella.
Yeah, then
it was a little bit of a shorter. Maybe it's just she didn't say as much. I feel like the other girls had like a longer. They said more.
These are the Cliff Notes versions, y'all. Maybe you heard her say other stuff, but these are the things that stood out. To me.
Yulissa starts to talk and said how she was in a 9-year relationship and he left her for another girl. And then I don't know who said this, but someone goes, "No ring." She's like, "No, there wasn't.
No ring."
But she's 27. She owns a mobile bar from Miami. Don't play with fire or you might get burned. And I'm like, oh, Republican red.
And I'm fun in bed.
She likes to spice things up.
Yeah. She's like, I'm open. I'll suck your toe, I think is what she said.
Yeah, she said something like that.
So the both of them join. The girls keep drinking.
And then Ariana comes down.
Baddie came to slay. I was like,
she's back.
Not only that.
Not only not, baddie. Pose for me.
Baddie shot a I was like, I need to go to the gym.
No, I know, right? I'm like, what is your workout routine? She just has like abs and she's like
for days.
Slim, thick, if y'all know.
Yeah, because they got the shot behind her. I was like,
she had her little blonde bust down, middle part straight with the custom jewel dress just showing. I was like, okay, Ariana,
amazing. I was like, you better come through. What's her man's name? Daniel is a lucky man. She is beautiful. He's also really nice. Like I feel like they're good.
He's the sweetest, and he's like fine. I think he's gonna.
Fine.
I have a feeling he's gonna propose sometime this year.
Really?
Because she's talking about being open to it, and she's like, he needs to lock it down. So
hey,
I could see it.
We're not getting any younger.
Someone asked in some interview, they're like, "What if he proposed in the villa?" And she's like, "In the villa." I love how not for the shit Ariana is. She's like, with all the neon signs.
Like where I work at my job.
I'm like, I feel you, but one at the dock would be cute.
It would be cute. She's like, no.
She's like, and so we won't do that.
Daniel's like, not the villa.
Yes. But she gathers the girls around the fireplace to get to know them. And this is where Alandria says that she's been single for 5 years. Only in one relationship for 3. And she thinks she cuts people off for the smallest things and she needs to allow people to make mistakes and grow.
She wants to be more open.
Yes. And like you were saying, we will see that in a future episode.
Yeah, stay tuned.
Yulissa has been single for 1.5 years and she found herself in Trump and is ready to build her roster. So cool.
She's like, I had enough time being single. I found myself. Yeah, girl, you found something.
We know
you found stuff.
Belle, and I want to call her because even Nick calls her Beldasha sometimes. And I'm like, that's funny.
No, it's not Nick Vial.
No, Nick in the show.
I was supposed to say, why are we agreeing
you
with
think
Nick
I would
Vial?
quote Nick Vial in a positive way?
I was very concerned for a moment.
Oh, no.
I didn't hear him call her that.
I think he just did it once or twice. I think at one point.
How does he know how to... Oh, it's on the bed. I was like, how does he know how to spell her name?
And probably on the bottles.
Oh, that too.
But she's only been in one relationship and she says she's a Christian.
She wants intention.
She's like, I want to be here for a good time and a long time.
Huda.
She likes pretty men.
And fit men.
I was shocked by this answer. Not that she likes pretty men, but it's like, I don't know. I'm like, why is this the one thing you're saying?
Maybe
seems a little shallow, which is fine, but
if the order of events happened in the way it did, maybe she's trying not to repeat that she found herself and she wants intention and stuff. Maybe she's like,
true. And now that I think about it, she hasn't told everyone yet she has a kid, so I don't think she wants to be like, I want to find a future husband in like someone because I have a kid.
We also may not have seen the whole answer, but true. I agree with you. Pretty men is like, oh, okay,
true.
Yeah.
And then Ariana's like, me too. Shelly says her type is someone whose aura speaks for themselves, family oriented. Take a shot in any of these episodes every time they say family oriented. Goofy romantic, looking for chivalry, gotta open every door and have her walk on the inside of the sidewalk. Another thing for this episode, if you hear the word sidewalk, take a shot.
LOL.
But
for real.
Nick and Ace arrive.
Nick and Ace. And I was like, white suit, black suit. Y'all did this on purpose. Ace came in with his white suit and he's like, hey guys, what's up? Oh, Shelly. And I was like, is this real?
Yeah.
They know each other.
People were saying on TikTok, they're like, Shelly and Ace know each other or something like that. And I'm glad that it was addressed in the episode, like how they knew each other.
Yeah. Ariana was like, explain please, what is
like,
this?
What's actually happening?
He was like, no, I went to New York and Shelly lives in New York and we saw each other and then we were at the same place and we, Instagram message, but it didn't really go far.
Seems kind of casual for the most part. But Ace is looking for a family-oriented person with personality. And I'm like, oh, so the same answer as Shelly.
Romantic. He's 22 from LA. Shelly's 27. He has a dance company. He's a lover boy, 5'10". And he loves his family. His siblings are all over his body. And so is his name on his back. But I was like, oh, okay. I like people who have meaningful tattoos. Granted, who cares what I think about your tattoos? But when the tattoo seems sentimental, and I was like, oh, that's sweet. So maybe I don't like meaningful tattoos, but I just like that his tattoos were meaningful.
He has a lot of tattoos.
There's 6 siblings, I think.
Yes. I need to really look at them because there are so many. Yeah. Like you said, though, he does have his name very big. Yes. And that's always something that's a little like, okay. Yeah. But regardless, I think it's funny because people online, they'll say, and we'll get into it, they're like, Jeremiah won't know peace as long as Ace is in the villa.
He's a... yeah.
And they're like, he has 6 siblings. He knows how to irritate people.
I didn't even think about it that way. Facts. Facts. And he's 22, man. So his age shows a little bit.
It did say he was 5'10", and that surprised me. He read shorter to me.
Oh, yeah. Because that's taller than both of us.
Yeah. And not to say I'm like...
Well, I don't know if you're 5'10".
Are you wearing lifts? Brantley?
I was like, oh, he's short. But now I'm like, no, you're not. 5'10's not that short.
Right. 5'10's solid.
On the screen, everybody looks super short.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's funny when he says he's 22, Alandria's like, oh, you still got breast milk on your breath.
I was like, okay. And Nick's like, I don't have breast milk.
I'm 24. I'm like, okay, Nick, you're kind of funny.
Yeah, but that was an interesting comment from Olandria.
She's funny. She has interesting humor.
She does. She kind of has no filter as well.
She doesn't, which I appreciate.
But Nick is 24. He said he was in a long relationship and wanted more attention. I was like, But then he was like, quality time and physical touch. I was like, oh, okay.
Ariana's like, so you like him horny?
He's an RN. He wants to take care of someone. He's feral, adventurous, a traveler. He wants goosebumps. He likes them crazy. And that's what he told us.
Which is pretty interesting. I'm like, okay, Nick. We'll see how that goes. Yeah. Especially with his journey. I don't know. I'm trying to think of who he's kind of in that love triangle with. I'm like, are any of them crazy? And I'm like, one of them is acting a little jealous. So we'll see.
Crazy is a very loose term. What do you even mean by that?
True. Taylor arrives. He's a cowboy. He's 24 and a rodeo competitor from Oklahoma. And he says, if you're wearing skinny jeans with boots, you're not a real cowboy. He's in vet school and wants to focus on horses. He has 4 horses, but he can't date a woman with ugly feet. And then he says how his dating life is bad because everyone knows everyone in Oklahoma.
Yeah, he wants someone new.
And
he walked in like a cartoon character, just the
he is very gangly.
I think he was just hyped because it was like a skip walk, and I was just like, oh my gosh, he looked funny.
Yeah. But he tells everyone how he competes in Pony Express, and Shelly's like, why did I not know that ponies exist?
Shelly.
I'm like, that's a good question, Shelly.
Yeah, why? She's like, My Little Pony. That's the only reference to ponies you have.
I'm like, that's a toy.
That's something I would keep to myself.
I wouldn't say that out loud, but that's okay, Shelly.
Go off, queen.
What's funny too, though, is did you see how someone came forward and leaked a text message that apparently he had a girlfriend before and left her to go on the show?
Well, at least he left her instead of going on the show with a girlfriend.
Right.
But that's not... Taylor did that?
I guess. Which is interesting when he's saying Oklahoma, you can't really date there. So I'm like, well, were you dating?
Yeah.
I don't know, though. Then Austin and Jeremiah enter.
Mm-hmm. I'm Austin. I want love. I'm 26 from Michigan. I'm a pool boy, so like I see like fine girls all the time. Like I always see super hot women. Yeah, when I go to the bar, like I can't even do his voice right. It's very hot. Can you do it?
Someone call the pool man. They had him do that at first, but that's the intro. Loudest that he ever got.
But it's kind of like sing-songy and like high-pitched in a way. Like it's a couple octaves higher. And he like talks. I don't like it. I don't like the sound of Austin's voice. It's very like, yeah, you know, no. Like it's like that. I can't even do it right. Like
it's
I don't like it.
It's very like, it's almost kind of like Bella's, but not really. It's like a slower version of Bella's. He's very like, I was
I think it's
thinking, and it's just like, I don't know.
But he doesn't draw it out. It's just the for me, it's just the octave, where it's like like when you look at him, I didn't think his voice would be that high, and then the way he talks bothers me as well. So it's like your voice can be whatever octave, but I think it's the combination of the two that is just like annoying.
It's just like not good.
So you found it annoying too?
It did. It was just very like, I don't enjoy listening to you talk, but I can't really imitate it. But maybe we'll get the hang by the end of this episode. Maybe we'll get the
hang. Granted, he doesn't talk a lot, so
that is
we didn't have a whole lot to go off much.
But he is from Florida.
He is from Florida. He says he spills a drink on a girl and is like, oh, I spilled your drink. Oh, no, not on her, but spills the drink. And then offers to buy another one. And that's like his go-to pickup. And I was like, that's obnoxious. Like, why don't you just ask me if I want another drink? And he's like, well, now I have to buy it.
At that move, I was kind of like, okay, well, that's lame.
Yeah.
Anyways, and also, don't touch my drink.
Yeah.
And also, get away from me.
I don't like you, Austin.
I don't have a pool.
So, Austin, people found out stuff about Austin. I didn't get to confirm any of this.
I didn't either, but apparently there's stuff he's like said problematic things and like is a Trumpy. I didn't see it. I don't know. This week has been crazy, so I didn't look up much. The Yulissa one just really was like all around.
Yeah, that was
blatant.
Yeah, it was very blatant. I tried to search up what Austin said. If y'all saw it, let us know. But I couldn't find it. But that's what people are saying. So,
Jeremiah, we learn he's nervous and excited. Yeah. He's 25 and he's a model and a caterer and he lives in LA. Mm-hmm. He's a bookworm. He likes Fortnite. He says he's 3/4 a great guy. Mm-hmm. And that he cheated on his girlfriend of a year and a half. But it changed who he was today.
But then later he says a month. Was it a year or a month?
Was it within the first month?
Oh, okay.
Because he did say something weird.
Yeah. Not sure about the timeline, but he did cheat and he felt bad.
And he's only 75% a good guy.
Yeah.
So that's concerning.
He's like, I'm 3/4 a good guy. Interesting. What's the other quarter consist of? He said he learned from his mistake. He wants a strong, emotionally intelligent girl. He's open. He wants a girlfriend. That's what he's here for.
All right. And to
right.
win the show. So we get to the coupling.
First coupling.
Yes. And this one's a little different from the last one. I think the last one, it was like the guy stood up and then the girls had to walk to who they wanted.
Oh, and the guy had to pick.
Yes. If the girl chose more than, like, if there was more girls that chose a guy. Because remember, what's his name? Coy, he got 3.
Oh, he did.
He got Hannah, Serena, and Janae. And then he picked Janae.
Yes.
And then they had to go with Cordell and Kendall. But this one, the girls will have to choose 2 guys to kiss. And then they'll choose who they want to couple up with.
The guys get no say. And I was like, I love this.
Period.
Because the 2 seasons of Love Island, I think we've watched. Season 2, was it? And the last one, it was the guys' pick. So I haven't seen any others. But I like the girls being able to pick.
Oh, yeah. The season 2 one was awkward. Well, wait. Okay. Here's what will happen. Because the girls always pick initially. But the guys, because remember season 2, it was like they were in that pool. Yeah, they were. And if they stepped forward, if more than one person stepped forward, the guy had to pick what girl.
You're right.
Kind of like with last season, if more than one girl picks a guy, the guy has to pick which one.
I see.
So initially, it's in the girls' court.
It's kind of a mutual decision, but this one is not at all. The guys don't get any say.
They don't. Well,
they get to say what they think.
Yeah.
But the girl gets the final choice.
But first up, because they do it random draw, is Shelly.
Shelly goes first.
She goes up to Jeremiah, but then swerves him. And I'm like, that was funny.
Everybody's like, oh! And then we learned that that's just, I guess, how they play the game.
Right. Because everyone else does it. And I'm like, okay, it was only kind of funny when Shelly did it.
Yeah.
But she chooses Austin as her first kiss. Which was a choice.
She kissed Austin.
It looked okay.
Yeah.
And then her second choice was Ace, and that was passion.
Very passionate.
And then ultimately she chooses Ace to couple up with. Next is Huda. She kisses Jeremiah, and it's intense. Instant kind of fireworks. Then she goes with Ace, but she ultimately chooses Jeremiah.
And then they immediately stand like arm in arm.
Yeah, they're like connected.
Yeah, like Shelly and Ace are standing next to each other, but like they're like low-key hugging.
They're like, this is the finals, right?
Yeah.
Like we have to say the vows now.
Brandon. Okay.
Bella is up next. She chooses Taylor and Nick, but she has them kiss her on the cheek because I don't kiss on the first day. So like, you can kiss my cheek. So they do. And then she chooses Nick.
I actually loved her for that. I was like, I love when someone stands on their values. And it almost like, yeah, I just like that. I was like, because actually when the game started, I was like, man, you gotta make out with people like right off the bat. And I was like, that I don't think I could do that. I mean, I think I would since they told me I had to. And Bella's like, no. I'm gonna do this. And I was like, I love that for her.
I don't mind it. It was an interesting twist. It's Love Island though. Yeah. But regardless, I understand maybe not wanting to swap saliva.
Yeah, immediately. Like you don't even remember their names, low key.
Right. So I get it.
Yeah. Initially too though, when she had Taylor and Nick, I was like, you should pick Taylor. Because we know that Nick is like a very physical, touchy guy, and if that's not your vibe right now, maybe Taylor would have been best. And I was like, can she choose Taylor? But she chose Nick. So I was like, oh, okay. Because they asked Taylor, how was the cheek kiss? And he was like, I'm fucking with it. It was cool, you know? Like, he was really open to it. And Nick was like, yeah, it was the best that I've ever. And I'm like, okay. I thought she should have picked Taylor, though.
Well, Olandria's next. And she picks Taylor, and it's passion. I see some chemistry. She then picks Nick, and she calls him Cream. As she's walking up, she's like, okay, Cream. And then people point out how Olandria always like sticks her tongue out before a kiss.
Yeah, I saw that.
Quite a lot. But she ends up picking Taylor.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. She wanted a Southern gentleman.
Yeah, she wanted a cowboy.
Then Yulissa's there. She chooses Ace, and it's kind of a lot. Then she goes for Jeremiah, but he only does a cheek kiss. He's like, I'll kiss your cheek. And she's like, okay. And then Ace is like, did I fuck up? And it's like, eh. But he tells everyone he turned his cheek because he wanted to respect Huda. And I'm like, okay, respectable.
I think it was like his way of swerving Yulissa. He's like, I could kiss you and you might think I'm feeling you, but I'm not. So I want to make it clear that I'm not feeling you. So I'm not going to give you a kiss.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make out with you.
So she steals Ace from Shelly. Because what's she going to do? Pick Jeremiah.
Yeah.
So now Shelly's with Austin.
Yeah.
But Ariana's like, don't get too comfortable. And then after the the coupling, they're just checking out the room. They're seeing everything. They're noticing all the new things like the speakeasy and the photo booth. And then I think Olandria and Taylor speak. Mm-hmm. And then he's saying how his ideal woman has good teeth, big butt, and good toes. And then they joke about her feet because they're swollen. And it's funny. They have a funny banter.
They do. And he's like, I have a black toe. She's like, why? And he's like, oh, not all of them are black. Just one. A horse stepped on me. And then she's like, oh. Like, their banter was cute.
Right. It was good. I was like, okay, I see this maybe going somewhere.
Yeah. But for this, though, Jeremiah and Huda go to the photo booth. And they like take pictures together. And in his confessional, he's like, I really like her. These are the pictures we keep. I'm going to keep them. I think she'll like it if I keep them. And I'm like, very early on, Jeremiah is like...
It's like the first hour.
Yeah. And he's like, the picture, we're going to hang it by our bed with our stuff. Yeah, we'll get some more pictures.
We'll put it in our pillowcase for when we sleep at night. Right? But then we get Austin and Shelly. She asks, who would you pick if the guys had to choose the girls? Mm-hmm. And then he says her and Bella. Mm-hmm. And that he wasn't too surprised when she chose him because I guess they were kind of eyeing each other.
Yeah.
Ace and Yulissa speak. She says she speaks Spanish, and then he says he has 6 siblings, and she talks about how she wants a big family and feels as though he has like true values.
Yeah. And in his confessional, he's like, there's not a spark yet, but I'm open. We'll see what happens.
Right. Which we will learn. Ace is very open, and he encourages others to be very open.
Yes.
Which, good. Shelly and Austin talk again, and I think it's actually going back and forth between these two because then Austin said he was sad she picked Ace, but glad it worked out at the end. And she says that they look good, but she'll see where it goes. Yeah. Just introductory things. Just kind of like, yeah, I think I like you.
Yeah. I think for all of these, I put them all together. So I might say them together when they are apart.
Yeah. We learn Ace's middle name is Steve.
Yeah, and I was like, is your first name Ace? I'm just curious.
Maybe.
Is it a nickname?
I think that could be a name.
Like, I don't think I don't think they have to give their government name. Because Ariana calls Nick Nicholas and at first, and then he's like, no, it's Nick. And on the screen, they say Nick. Yeah. Right? So, like, maybe they give you the name that you like to be called.
Probably.
Ace Steve? I don't know.
Ace Steve.
I wonder if his first name is longer.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Someone do a deep dive on Ace.
Find out. Find his LinkedIn.
Nick and Bella are talking, and he asks how she feels about sharing a bed, and she's like, I'm nervy, but it's fine. Just me putting myself out there. And then he tells us he's praying for a real kiss. And then even like she scoots in closer to him, and then she's just like, oh, look at us. We're looking cute. Oh, did you like the sheet kiss? You're like, yeah.
And don't they hold hands?
I think they do. Which hey.
In his confessional, he's like, I'm happy with her. She was the front runner. So we'll see.
Huda and Jeremiah talk. He asks why she picked him first, and he says he asked that, and then he's like, that's a great question.
I asked a good question.
I'm like, was it that like amazing of a question?
He's like, sorry to cut you off. That was a good question, but go ahead. I was like,
it's a pretty like standard question.
Yeah.
Nothing. He's
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe this is like a nervous thing. Like he's talking and
maybe
it's like, okay, hype yourself up.
He did say he was nervous, so
yeah.
She said she did because he's her type on paper. She does like pretty men, and he is pretty.
He is pretty.
He says he knew she was the one when he first saw her. And then they talk about like red flags, and he says it's like bad hygiene.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, same. And then she's like, this is like cute young love vibes. Mm-hmm. And she prays he's not a fuck boy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, maybe he won't be with you, but it sounds like from his intro.
Yeah. And then he walks away from her. And he's like, see you later, I guess. Or I think he says something like, see you later.
Yeah.
She's like, bye, love you. Oh, I didn't mean to say that. And he's like, it's okay. Love you, bye.
That's like that's like, I've done that before where I said like, oh, and I didn't mean it like that. Like sometimes you just like say it and it's like, you don't mean to, and you don't mean it like that.
Yeah, I just thought it was funny. And I'm glad that he was chill about it, but I just thought it was funny. When I went away with my friends, I kept like calling them things that I would like call Obi.
LOL.
So like sometimes things slip out. So
hey honey,
or I'd be like, babe, blah blah, and it's like, no, I'm talking to my friend. But like, because I say that and I'm always talking to him, maybe that's what she says to her daughter when she's like leaving her. Love you, bye.
Probably. Taylor had called him over, I think, because they're gonna have like a boys team meeting.
Yeah.
And so the girls and boys separate to kind of talk about things, and it cuts in between. But with the girls, Shelly's saying how shook she was when she saw Ace walk in, and she gets into how they met in January. Huda does mention the invisible string theory, which if y'all heard Taylor Swift songs, invisible string.
Do you know what it is?
I don't know. Like, I didn't look it up, and I don't know exactly, but what I'm assuming is just kind of like, and going based off the Taylor Swift song, it's like there's like an invisible string tying you together that will always make sure like,
oh, you end up together again. Oh, okay, that's cute.
Invisible string.
But when Olandria said it,
okay, go on. Sorry.
Olandria was like, yeah, the invisible string, and Shelly's like, stop. But that's my man. No, I'm just kidding. She seems like excited about that Ace is there. Huda's like, I really like him, but I just want to know like if it's real or not. I'm being cautious.
Yeah.
It's like, no, if what is real, Huda? What exactly? The things he said so far? Like, it's again been a couple hours. Like,
that part, it's kind of like,
what's real?
Okay, being cautious, but it's just like, I don't know. I noticed from these past few episodes, they kind of like say things or get really like kind of attached to people. Maybe with her I can get it because it's like she kind of knows him. Yeah,
it seems like everybody has the same like qualm.
Yeah.
And as we go through it, we'll see them doing low-key the same thing.
Right. Like they're low-key all acting like, even with like saying the invisible string, and then like even like kind of like Huda and Jeremiah like already being like,
it's heavy on the like, I'm gonna find love.
Yeah.
Very heavy on the I'm gonna find love.
Which, hey, I will say, watching season 6, it's kind of like, well,
I didn't even think about it like that.
The top 3 are still together.
Oh, I was about to say, 4 people left together, 3 are still together. Maybe in their mind, see, they set the bar super high. So
they really did.
Honestly, I would come in and be like, I'm gonna find the love of my. Is it him? Is it him? Oh, okay.
I think it's him.
Yeah, I think it's that guy. You know, like I get it.
The boys are talking, and Ace says Yulissa is cool, but he's still exploring. Mm-hmm. Jeremiah says he doesn't want to put his eggs in one basket, but he likes the basket. And he's like, it's mutual, and it feels like I won the lottery.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Huda says she likes Jeremiah, and they have so much in common, but she wants to be sure he's genuine.
Yeah.
And then Olandria said all the girls seem so nice and genuine.
Yeah.
So, except for Yulissa. Everyone unwinds and goes to bed, and just one thing I noted is the only couple making out was Jeremiah and Huda.
Yeah, but Bella did cuddle with Nick.
She did, and this is where they did hold hands.
They were holding hands, and like I think he was like spooning her.
It's cute. Mm-hmm. The next day, Yulissa said she likes that Ace was respectful and didn't try to cuddle. I'm like, I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
Nick brings Bella breakfast, and it just looks like a simple peanut butter toast. They got more in the villa. They're making like pancakes.
Yeah, I was like, maybe somebody was like, do they eat? And we were all asking what they ate because we've been seeing a lot of food.
Yes. But he's like, I hate peanut butter, so that was awful.
Yeah, I guess she asked for it, maybe?
I guess.
Yeah.
Bella and Yulissa are talking, and they talk about how they're like scared to talk to guys, and Yulissa sometimes gets nervous. But then Shelly joins, and Yulissa says they're here for love, and they need to like try things out and talk to people and all that.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I'm sure you'll talk to a lot of people.
Who said they were scared? Yulissa?
Yes. Well, kind of Bella and Yulissa.
Or Bella said it was weird?
Yeah, Bella said it was weird. And then Yulissa was talking about how, like, sometimes when she likes a guy, she'll, like, leave the date or feel sick because she's nervous.
Oh, yeah. Dang.
Nick and Ace are talking. And Ace says he likes Yulissa, but is still into Shelly.
Yeah.
Nick says there was a lot of hand touching at night with Bella.
Yeah, he's like, the cuddling was nice.
Mm-hmm. And then... But he does say that Olandria has his attention because they did kiss.
I was like, okay, let's see what happens there.
Nick and Shelly talk. He asks how she's doing.
Or you mean Austin?
Oh, maybe.
I have Austin
I wouldn't
and Shelly.
be. Oh, it probably is Austin. I probably put the wrong name.
No worries.
Too much is happening. They got too many names. But he asks how she's doing, and she says she can see them getting along. He says he's very interested.
Yeah.
And then she says she has a vision of her family and wants to be with someone long term. He says he wants a big family, and that he likes that she's family oriented.
He's really putting it out there that he likes her, and I was like, okay, go off.
Yeah. And Shelly's like, I like him, but I still want to explore things with Ace.
Yeah, in her confessional, because in he's smitten. He's like, she is so beautiful, I really like her, but she's just like, he's not my usual type, but we'll see.
Yeah. Olandria and Taylor talk. They're at the dock and they talk about the fishes and wanting to go fishing.
Yeah.
They bond over Mexican food. They both like enchiladas.
Yeah. He's like, chicken or beef? Beef. But yeah, she was like, stop. No, you don't. You don't like this. That's crazy. We're just so alike. And they're vibing. I like their vibe.
I do too. It's fun. And I like, he was looking at the fishes and he was like, it's a gang of fish. And she's like, a school.
They're like, man, I wish I had a fishing pole. Me too.
Huda and Jeremiah.
Also, guys, when Taylor talks, I cannot understand this man. He like, a lot of them actually mumble. And the captions are awful. I don't know why. They're like auto-generated captions.
They're not always right.
They're not always right. And sometimes they'll skip a whole dialogue. And I'm like, so I'll just never know. Like I was rewatching episode 4 and I had my volume on like 50. It's like I cannot catch what the hell Jeremiah is talking about right now.
Yes.
Like everybody does it, but Taylor, I can't understand Taylor.
Because since we take notes, I do have to put the subtitles on because I will often miss. I'm like, what are these people saying?
Honestly, they just distract me and they're late. Yeah. They're like delayed. Love Island USA. What are these I don't remember the captions being bad last time.
Or maybe it's Peacock. Peacock got some things to fix too. Yeah, you gotta work on this. Huda and Jeremiah talk and they check in. And she wants to make sure he's who he says he is. Yeah. And I'm like, okay. I don't know. I'm like, why? You don't know him, so you are gonna get to know, like, what is this whole, like, I want to make sure you're who you say you are. Like, yeah, you don't know him. Like, so you are gonna get to know each other. I don't know. Something about saying it like that just, like, annoys me.
Her
I'm like,
fear and her insecurity is on her face. Like, she cannot hide the fact that, like, she really wants this to work out. She's nervous, so she's saying it. And she's been single for 4 years. So there's a lot riding on this. It sounds like she's been single just as long as she's had a kid. Yeah. So there's like a lot at stake for her. And she's just like, he seems like a really nice guy. This seems to be going well, but like, is it going well? Like, Huda, I'm just as anxious as you, girl, but since I'm not you, I can say, maybe calm down a little bit.
Relax a little.
But I get it. I get it. And I probably would be acting just like, I think Huda is me. I think I'd be acting just like Huda.
I'm like, but he likes me, but does he? I don't know.
When she cries, I'm like, girl, don't cry. But I'm like, I'd be crying too. I'm actually crying with you.
But they talk about kind of being the same age, and they talk about where they live. And then he's like, oh, I have a roommate. And she's like, oh, yeah, I pay this much. And I have a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. And he's like, why do you have 2 bedrooms? And she's like, oh. And I'm like, not you about to spill the beans.
Yeah,
he's like, you talk about not wanting to tell anyone.
She's like, oh, just, you could, yeah, that's right. Instead of being like, she could have just been like, oh, just, extra room. Like, could have played it off. But she was like, I'll tell you later. And he's like, why?
Yeah, he was kind of like, I don't know. And then
she's like, don't worry, I'll tell you later. And he's like, okay.
And then she tells us she likes to play it safe and wait to tell a guy she has a kid once he's invested. And I'm like, is that manipulative?
Yeah, so let's talk about this. I understand maybe not leading a conversation with like, I have a child, because I do think that a man would might write you off right away, like, oh, or go ghost, like, or that date just fizzles down from there if that's the first thing. I feel like she should test the water, like, just ask like inquiring questions.
Yeah.
What, have you ever dated someone with kids? How do you feel about like if somebody had kids? Maybe that would give it away, so she doesn't want to.
Yeah.
But I felt like she should at least like feel it out and then share. But I also feel, well, what do you think?
I understand not wanting to say it right away.
Yeah.
Because I think that would even be a lot. Like, once you like first meet someone to be like, hey, I have a kid, like all this. I could see maybe the second or third time y'all talk. Yeah. I just don't like her saying I wait till they're invested before I tell them.
Yeah, because it's like, because that it could, I get why you say maybe it is manipulative. Yeah,
because it's kind of, and like, it's just like, it's a lot to take on. So I can understand someone not wanting to like be a stepdad or anything like that.
Yeah, that is a lot to take on. My other thought though is like, I feel like if she had just laid it out there, said it, the guys could do what they will with that information. I don't think everybody's gonna write you off. Like, I think they know that. I mean, at least there's a TV, there's a camera in front of their face. They're not gonna be an ass to you. Like, I think they would still give you a chance. Then it's out there. They can decide and then find, oh, like, I really do like Huda, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm like, it could work in your favor to just be transparent. Also, now that you've said it, all the bombshells know.
That's true,
I think, at least.
Because
I don't think they would hide it from them.
I don't think so either. Because we know, I'm pretty sure they watch or they see clips. Or I know at least Casa Amor, they do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. I don't know if all... Well, I think one of the bombshells later references something someone said already. Okay. But, yeah, last night... someone in the chat was like, yeah, but now all the bombshells know. And I was like, you're right. Yeah. I think it was Yulissa said, all the did I say her name right?
I think so, yeah.
All the bombshells know now, you know? So it's like, they do. So now everybody knows.
Yes. So the secret's out. But I mean, people are going to react how they're going to react. So I don't think there's a point in waiting too long. Like, they're
not going to kick you out of the villa, Huda. Like, I think you have some time.
Yeah.
And then that would give them a chance to get comfortable with the information. How old is she? What is she like? Well, like, what's your relationship with her father? Like, what's going on? You know?
Yeah.
So they could have like the full information to make a choice.
Yeah.
You know?
It lets them know the full picture.
Yeah.
But I mean, we'll get into
so now it's just, what's the other bedroom? I'll tell you later. And he's cool with that. I wouldn't have been. I hate when people do that to me.
Same. I'm like, no, tell me.
You start saying it, just say it. And then if they didn't, I might not talk to them.
I'm like, well, we're done.
Like, girl, we're just having conversation. But also, I thought it was weird that he even asked that. What's the second bedroom for? People can't have 2 bedrooms? Shit.
I mean, they you know...
What do you mean, what's it for?
That's true. They could.
Why did he even ask?
Fair. That's true. I think
when someone says I have a 2-bedroom apartment, I don't say, what are each of the rooms? Do you sleep in both? Is one an office?
Like, oh, he did. I think he did ask. Oh, is one an office or something like that?
Oh, I thought it was like, I thought he just said, what's the other room for?
She could have just lied and said it was an office.
I would have just been like, oh yeah, just like more space.
Yeah. Not to bring it to a place of summer house, because I think Paige has a 2-bedroom, but she's also rich, so.
Oh, yeah. Like, I feel like that's normal.
I think it's like her second closet.
Yeah. Because what is she even an office for? She's a personal trainer.
True.
Or maybe she could have said it was a home gym. Anyway.
There you go. Ace and Shelly talk. He pulls her for a chat. And he's like, how are things with Austin? And she's like, it's good. And they talk about, he says he thinks it's fate that they're together. And she said she almost didn't choose him because she didn't want to be biased. But she felt comfortable and she liked him.
Yeah.
And she didn't feel a way about the kiss with Yulissa because it's part of the process. And I just felt like Ace looked so smitten by her.
He is. And I low-key felt like Ace wanted the kiss to bother her. But, like, he was like, oh, it doesn't? Okay. Like, you know.
That's fine, I guess.
I don't know when, but Ian Sterling is talking at some point, and he's like, it's clear Yulissa likes Ace. It's written all over her face. And it's clear that Ace likes Ace because it's written on his back. And I thought that was so funny. I was like, okay, yeah, Ace is like, his energy gives me a little arrogant.
Oh, yeah.
He is feeling himself. And he's like, oh, I got kissed. How many times? 3 or 4 times during the thing?
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, y'all hyped him. Y'all gassed him up.
Gave him too much confidence. They're all getting ready for the night. And they have Nick wearing these purple pants and like trying to teach him how to walk. And that was funny.
I didn't even see that.
Shelly tells Yulissa she needs to have a convo. Or a convo needs to be had. I'm assuming about Ace. Because they were kind of saying, like, we need to see what page they're on or something.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, we never see any convo.
You're right.
And I don't know if there's really a point to it.
Right.
But Austin and Shelly talk. He freaks out about a bug. And I'm like, oh, he's not Rob.
He's like... the way that Austin jumped out of the line, he was like, oh...
I was kind of shocked because I'm like, you're a pool boy. Like, aren't you used to kind of seeing bugs
and
or being outside?
Was big?
I guess. But he says, I don't really mind frogs, lizards, and snakes. But yeah, I don't like bugs.
That's how he talks.
And then she says when she was young, she used to love being outside and would play with the tadpoles.
But now she would never.
Right. And she's just like, we always have something to talk about, me and Austin. Like, it's so good.
Yeah.
And then Ariana arrives stunting.
Again.
She's like Black Minnie. Hair up. Walk, walk, walk. And I'm like, period.
So good.
She has a surprise and she brings them to the fire pit. She's like, so what's the tea? And Yulissa's like, I just feel like people are walking on eggshells and not showing their true colors. And I'm like, especially you, Trumpy. And people were clocking out. Ariana was like, oh, true colors. People aren't showing them.
Yeah.
But Ariana says she's going to give them a chance to make a play at someone they're interested in tonight, but in secret. So she brings them to like be in a circle. And the couples are sitting next to each other and they have blindfolds on. And essentially you have the opportunity to kiss someone outside of your couple and raise your hand if you want to kiss an islander or islanders, which I missed that the first time.
I thought it was one, but yeah, someone wants to kiss more than one person.
That's because that's what threw me off when they kissed more than one. I was like, huh.
Yeah.
And then when I rewatched, I was like, oh, she did say islanders.
Yeah.
The only ones to raise their hands were Shelly, Ace, Nick, and Olandria. Nick goes first to kiss Olandria, and he hits gloss all over his lips.
He does. And she's like, I don't know who that was. I wonder.
She's like, who the fuck was that?
Yeah.
It felt like he had a beard, I think. I don't know, but I need to find out. Shelly kisses Ace, which was sweet. Olandria kisses Ace, which kind of shocked me.
Yeah.
Just because we didn't really hear anything. And she didn't like select him in the beginning to kiss.
That's true. You're right.
So I just didn't see it coming. But Ace kisses Shelly, which was sweet. But then he makes his way to Huda.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of crazy.
I was like, now wait a minute.
Huda's engaged.
Huda is about to get married to Jeremiah tomorrow. They're ending the season early. But then 2 new bombshells enter.
I was so baffled. I was like, oh, I should have known. But I was just like, when they came in, I was like, oh, shoot. It's about to get messy.
The first one is Charlie. He's 27 from the UK, and it's time to show these American boys how it's done. I'm tall, tan. Girls usually say they like kissing these nice lips.
I'm handsome. I'm like, okay. Okay. And I thought he said his name was Johnny. And I was like, oh, see, I can't hear shit.
Johnny from season 2?
Oh. Then we have Ciara, 25, from Arizona. Has brains, beauty, and boobs.
Period.
Go off.
She doesn't care about stepping on toes. And if I can take your man, he was never yours.
Okay, queen.
Period. That was another thing people kept saying. Because didn't Ace say a couple times, I'm here to step on toes.
Yeah, he did.
But the 2 bombshells, they kiss everybody.
Yeah.
So.
I thought it was just going to be one person, but they got everyone.
Yeah. They gave me odd vibes at first.
Mm-hmm.
One of them kind of grows on me a little bit.
Yeah.
But we'll get into it.
Yeah.
And this whole time they're playing like a slow down version of "Come Closer." Come closer. I'm like, not this American Idol ass cover. But they leave and everyone takes off their blindfolds and they're like, we heard a lot of smooches.
Nick in his confessional was like, that was great.
Also, shout out to Ariana's face during a lot of these kisses. She's just looking like,
and I was like, go off. I love you, Ariana.
yeah, she's so fine.
She is.
Do y'all know who kissed you? If you kiss someone, will you take it any further? Raise your hands if you received a kiss. And then everyone raises their hand, which throws them off.
Yeah.
And she says, well, the final kisses were from the 2 bombshells. And so put your blindfolds back on and raise your hands if you want to get to know the bombshells better.
We're into episode 2 now, right? Or no?
They ended on that cliffhanger because we didn't know who raised their hands for the premiere.
Okay.
So that was the premiere. Solid premiere. Very long, an hour and 43 minutes.
Yeah, but I love the cliffhanger. So like, okay, do you want to get to know the bombshells? I'm like, y'all are shaking stuff up immediately. I'm like, I wonder if this was planned. Or I wonder if it's because everybody's playing it super safe and like super like kind and like, okay, yeah, I don't want to step on your toes. Like everybody was being very nice and they're like, oh yeah, y'all were going to come in the next day, but go now.
We're about to make this not nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cause I was trying to think season 6, I think ended, we thought Leah was going to go home because Liv took Rob.
Yeah.
And then, but Leah stayed because 2 bombshells came and it was Connor and Hakeem.
I was about to say Nigel. I forgot about Hakeem was the one that kept yelling at them.
Yes.
Yeah, he was
Nigel
awful.
came with Kenny. And Cassidy.
Cassidy was there.
Yes, she was there for like a second, but she was there.
Cassidy was there. Yeah, but that was episode 1.
All right, so we're in episode 2 now, and we see that all the guys, except for Jeremiah, raised their hands.
Yeah.
For the girls, only Yulissa raised her hand.
Yeah.
Ariana, she's so sassy. She's like, it's been a very revealing evening.
It has.
At least for me. And she says, you'll meet the bombshells later. Bye. No one wants to fess up to getting up. Jeremiah has a little weird energy because I think he thinks Huda got up because he knew that she was kissed.
Yeah.
And she's like, I didn't get up, I swear.
He's like, did you get up? Oh, okay.
And then they pinky swear.
Yeah. She's like, I swear, no, I'm good. I didn't get up.
Then the bombshells send texts to who they want to meet up with because they're in the hideaway. Nick gets a text to meet Ciara in the hideaway. Shelly gets one from Charlie. And it did say in it, you didn't raise your hand, but I would like to get to know you.
Okay, I don't know why I just thought of this. What if they told Charlie to pick Shelly because they knew Yulissa was leaving? It's like the evening, right? It's the end of the day. They probably know like, oh, okay,
we're about to kick her out.
Yeah, because I feel like it was maybe at the beginning of the week or maybe over the weekend once people knew the cast, all that stuff about Yulissa came out. And they probably already did the choreographed number. So they're like, we have to let her through the first day and then
I could see that.
Yeah, because I feel like Charlie would pick whoever wanted to hang out with him, you know?
Well, maybe he didn't know. Well, then why would he text that? They must have told him.
Yeah, they had to tell them who raised their hands. So,
but also he's like, Shelly's a queen. Let me pick her. But I could see that.
Yeah.
Bella says she's a little worried, but Nick seems very happy.
Yeah. Nick is like, whoa, this is cool.
They go to the Hideaway, and it's kind of just like small flirty talk, nothing serious.
Yeah, it was a little awkward because like it's clear that Nick and Ciara really like each other, but then like it didn't seem like. Yeah, it was just their energy sparked off the bat, and I think Charlie and Shelly didn't hit it off so quickly.
I agree. Back at the villa, everyone's trying to figure out who kissed who. They know Ace kissed the most. Olandria admits to kissing Ace. Huda thinks Jeremiah doesn't like that someone kissed her. And then the guys are kind of grilling Ace about who he kissed. And then Jeremiah's still kind of unsure if Huda got up or not.
Yeah.
And Ace is just playing with him when he knows he's the one who kissed her. He's like not admitting that he kissed Huda.
Yeah, she's like, well, I kissed 3 people, but 2 first. And, well, Taylor starts doing the math. He's like, wait, it could only be my girl, Shelly, or Huda, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of the math because Bella doesn't kiss. And I guess they ruled out Yulissa for some reason?
Yeah. Well, he was coupled with Yulissa.
Oh, right. So she didn't kiss him, obviously. Yeah. And they're doing the math, and Jeremiah's just like, all right. And Ace is just sitting there smiling. He is eating it up. He's just sitting there smiling like, yeah, 2 people. I think one is Shelly. So then Taylor's like, so then the final 2 have to be either Huda or Landria. And Jeremiah's like, well, she told me she didn't get up.
Yeah.
And then
messy. And
it doesn't even cross Taylor's mind that it could be Olandria. I'm like, it wasn't Huda, but it's because Ace knows he got up and kissed Huda. Because when she's talking to the girl too, she's like, I know somebody kissed me. I know it was Ace. Like she knew it was Ace somehow.
Yeah.
So I thought that was weird. Like Ace is just real. This is where I'm like, the arrogance at someone else's demise is real like twisted.
He's playing games.
And he thinks it's so funny. And I'm just like, that's kind of fucked up.
Not no, but keep it going.
Right. Because Jeremiah's like, she pinky promised. She said it wasn't her. And Ace is like,
no, people can break pinky promises. Back at the Hideaway, Shelly says they came and shook things up. And then they kind of just check out the Hideaway. Yeah. And they find all like the kinky stuff that's in the Hideaway. And all they have like the handcuffs and everything. And then Nick says it's scarily easy to talk to Ciara. And so they're hitting it off. Yeah. Back at the villa, Taylor and Olandria talk. He asks if she kissed anyone. She admits to kissing Ace. And because she wanted to see and explore. But she says that Taylor's the strongest connection and it would take a lot to turn her head. Taylor's happy she was honest. She feels bad, though, because he didn't get up at all. Yeah.
He's like, he's not mad. It's like maturity. Right. I think he even said, like, no, it's maturity. Like, I'm not mad.
And also, he raised his hand as wanting to pursue Ciara. Yeah. So, like...
They're being open.
Yeah. At the Hideaway, they go in the hot tub, and then Nick is saying how he was turned on when Ciara lifted his chin when they kissed. Yeah. And I'm like, cool.
And Olandria, or Shelly and Charlie are just kind of sitting there, and they're like, you want to go inside? And I'm like, yeah, this is kind of weird. It's like you're third wheel, low key, because they're hitting it off so much.
Yeah, and I feel like Shelly and Charlie are getting along, but they're not
there.
Yeah,
yeah.
Back at the villa, Bella and Austin bond over their partners being gone, and she felt hurt that Nick got up to kiss someone, and she hopes he doesn't go too crazy tonight, and that he's honest about whatever he does. Yeah. At the Hideaway, Charlie and Shelly, they talk about music. She likes his energy. Ciara and Nick talk about Avatar.
It's like, Avatar? You like Avatar? She's like, yeah, I was Katara for Halloween or something. And then she's like, you could dress up as Aang. And they were just like bonding. And in his confessional, he's like, she's amazing.
I love her.
Oh my gosh. And I'm like, I get that feeling when like you just like click really well with someone. It is kind of crazy.
It is.
But he was smitten.
He was. Everyone goes to bed. And Jeremiah's spiraling about how many times Huda was kissed. And he admits to being territorial.
Yeah. He's like, I heard 3 kisses, but I know I need to chill. Like, I know. Like, I'm like, at least you're self-aware. But everybody is kind of being like that. Bella's being a little territorial. Jeremiah is. Huda's like, I ain't do nothing. And Ace wants to torture people with the information he has. Like,
he does. Ace is like, let's play a game. Bella feels like she's single. Cut to Ciara and Nick kissing in the bed at the Hideaway.
They were really hyped to sleep outside. They're like, yeah, this one. We'll sleep here. I was like, y'all are staying at the Hideaway overnight? I was kind of surprised by that.
I was too, because of the Hideaway of it all.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like exclusive. Like you go to the last season you went to the Hideaway if you were like really hitting it off and stuff.
Yeah, and it was like sometimes like a vote or something.
Yeah.
But now it's just like, nope, we're getting started.
Janae was like, no, me and Kenny are going this time.
Yeah. The next season 2, I just feel like me and Connor should be going. Mackenzie and Connor, low-key team Mackenzie. Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, no, Connor was awful. He was like 3 different people.
He was. The next day, Yulissa has left the villa. Everyone's waking up and Alandria says she has to talk to the way they spent no time.
Okay, so did you see her Instagram post?
Yeah, she did like an apology.
Yeah, she was okay. So can I do you want to go? Can I read the apology?
Sure, man.
Because it's so like bad. Like it's like, I'm sorry I got caught. Honestly, like that's basically what she says.
Yeah.
She's like, here we go. First, I want to apologize for using a word I had no right in using. Podcast clips from years ago have recently resurfaced, and I want to address it directly. In those clips, I used a word I never should have used, a racial slur. I used it ignorantly, not fully understanding the weight, history, or pain behind it. I wasn't trying to be offensive or harmful, but I recognize now that intention doesn't excuse impact, and the impact of that word is real. It's tied to generations of trauma, and it's not mine to use. At the time, I was speaking casually in conversation, not thinking deeply or critically about what I was saying, but that doesn't take away from how wrong it was. The truth is, I didn't know better then, but I do now. I've taken time to reflect, to learn, and to grow from that moment. Some people are like, this ChatGPT wrote this. All I get is yada yada yada. Somebody wrote this from her. No way she wrote any of this. And I'm like, if I got in trouble, maybe I would use ChatGPT. But like, I don't know.
Also, it's 2025. I didn't understand the impact, girl.
So I'm tired of, we talked about this, I can't remember what in reference to, but I'm tired of people saying sorry. Just go do something about it. I have some internal bias. I have biases, or I have this thing that I've been doing that I didn't realize was wrong. Here's what I'm going to do. That's what I want to see. Yeah. Like, I'm going to talk to this person, or I'm going to read this book, or I'm going to do something. Like, I want to see people, like, doing something about it. Like Stassi.
Yeah.
Didn't she go and learn about shit?
She did take classes.
Wasn't her whole second book about how she, like, learned?
She said how she survived being canceled. I think she did take some classes.
Maybe not like Stassi, but...
Well, did you see how Hannah from last season is now like a born-again Christian or something?
LOL, yes.
So...
I guess she did something about it. Yeah. Well, I guess she also said she's sober now. Maybe she... Because I think that she was drunk when that whole thing happened. But, yeah, I don't know. Like... I'm glad that she apologized, though, because I thought that she was going to be like, no, like, it's okay because blah, blah, blah. But, like, I mean, at least say sorry. But, yeah.
But,
Love Island is crazy for not doing a thorough background check.
Right. Because if people were able to find that so quickly, I feel like someone could have on the casting team.
Right. Like, the internet found everything out. So, like, y'all didn't just scroll through her Twitter or look at her extracurricular activities?
They're like, nope, cast her.
She's on the show. She's a great dancer.
Back to the villa. Olandria says she has to talk to Shelley. Oh, probably because she kissed Ace. I was wondering for a second. I'm like, why do they need to talk? And then probably because she kissed Ace. And now since Yulissa's gone, Shelly and Ace, they're not together, but they're probably, people know they like each other.
I don't know.
I
missed this part because all I heard was her asking. Olandria asks Huda, "Is it okay that Jeremiah is like upset?"
Oh yeah.
Like he's kind of like, well, like he was mad. Is that bad? And Huda's like, I mean, no. 'Cause basically, she was like, he's like obsessed with me, so I'm okay with it.
And Olandria's just like, it's kind of scary, no?
She's like, no, not for me. You know, like, all right, if you don't find it weird,
You're like, little do you know. Wait till episode 4. Huda and Jeremiah talk, and she says, you know, Ace kissed me and asked how he feels. And he says, you know, I would have hated it if you got up to kiss someone.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want to come across as controlling.
Yeah.
But he's glad they're on the same page. He thinks they're the one couple that likes each other, and there's a magnifying glass on them.
Yeah, I mean, because they are hitting it off, so everybody is watching. Yeah.
It's day 3.
But they do have a you think the magnifying glass thing is a stretch? Is that why you're saying that?
I think at this point, like, who's saying, like...
Ace is the fuck. Ace is obsessed with them.
And not now. Like, we see he'll say shady shit later, but at this point, like, Ace...
Not on this episode?
I mean, later, not right now at this episode. Like, I think later in this episode, but I mean, Ace, anyone, they're like saying they're open to explore, but then kind of feel away if anyone tries to explore with them.
Yeah.
And Ace is being messy by kissing, but also like it's part of the experience. So it's just like, I think maybe get over yourself a little that everyone has a magnifying glass on y'all. Y'all are holding the magnifying glass, if anything, talking about how you're the strongest couple, your mom and dad, you're all this. Well,
not yet, but yeah.
No one's saying that about you that we see.
Yeah.
So...
I get it.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where the magnifying glass thing came from. Maybe there's something we didn't see, but
this is the part where I wrote, can tell I'm already going to be exhausted by these two. Just the way they talk things out. Which is insane.
We don't agree because I like them.
Maggie likes them. She was saying it yesterday at the watch party. I was like, this is going to be interesting banter on the episode.
Yeah, like, because I actually, I found them cute. I'm like, okay. He's like, no, this girl is attractive. She's the one I wanted to be with. And she's the same. She's like, yeah, I want. And then they're like both okay with how each other is going about things. Like, it just seems like pretty seamless. They? Yeah, because, like, okay, and I mean that in the sense that, like, Huda, are you scared that he's obsessed? She's like, no, I like it. And he's like, hey, like, did you kiss anybody? And she's like, no, I didn't. You know what I mean? Like, they're on the same page. I feel like all of them, when somebody threatens their relationship or whoever they're coupled up with, everybody feels a little insecure. Like, it's going to happen. So, like, I didn't think it was that bad for Jeremiah to get mad, especially because it wasn't that crazy. He was more so just like, oh, man, like, like, she kissed somebody. Who was it? But it wasn't like he was panicking, jumping in the pool, swimming under an ottoman. You know what I mean? Like,
he didn't pull a Rob.
He was very calm about it, even though it was like, okay, dang, relax. No, he was, you know what I mean? So they seem to be on the same page that they like each other, you know?
Yeah, I think they like each other.
Yeah.
It's just like...
Later they do some stuff I don't agree with. But in this moment, on episode 2, I was like, oh, they're cute.
I think maybe, too, I'm just like, I feel like y'all talk a lot about how you like each other. But I'm like, but what do y'all actually like about each other?
That's a good question.
Like, because you're both pretty. Like, okay. But, like, it's like, why is the connection so strong on day 3?
I didn't think about that. The only thing I've noted that they've really explicitly said is, like, they're both physically attracted to each other. But the reasons why, no, we don't really get that. Yeah.
It's kind of just like they're high off the fact that
they both like each other.
And people see that they like each other. Okay. It's like, okay. Like, okay, because I was also thinking, because as we've said, like, these people seem a little possessive very early on.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about last season and, like, how kind of, like, Rob and Leah were quick.
Yeah.
But it was kind of like people were rooting for them because they could see the instant connection.
Yeah.
Like, it felt organic and it was more than just physical. And it was just like, oh, the energy, they really bond.
Yeah.
Whereas with these two, it's almost coming from a defensive us against the world place. And it's like, us against the world.
I didn't see that.
yet.
Right. We're on episode 2, Brandon.
This is true.
On episode 2,
I started to peep it a little in this moment when it's like they're saying all these things, like everyone's just so like about
I didn't register him saying that, so I agree that what he said was weird. But yeah, I'm just give us an hour.
Give us a minute.
I'm gonna fold very quickly.
We see Shelly and Charlie talk. They both feel good. He's like, I'm attracted to you. And she's like, we have good conversation.
She's like, I'm open. And then here I was just like, Shelly, like, it seems like you like Ace. Go to Ace. Like, yeah. But Shelly seems like she just kind of lets the guys come to her and she's like kind of just feeling it. I'm sure she is initiating conversations too. We don't see them, but I'm just like, she's kind of just chilling.
Yeah.
You know?
Nick and Ciara talk. She's expecting good vibes and a warm welcome when they all go back to the villa. And she just feels as though they have a good foundation. Yeah. And I'm like, I guess. Like, again, it's been a night, but sure.
And he was like, well, like, you know, I do have to have some conversations. And in my head, I'm like, wait, I forgot about Bella. That needs to have some conversations with Bella. And she's like, yeah, you know, well, he didn't say her name, but was like, yeah, I want you to be sure if this is what you like. And we should both talk to people and both explore. Yeah. They're open.
Which Ciara says that now.
Everybody's territorial.
Very. Austin and Taylor are talking. Austin's worried and curious where Shelly's head is at. Taylor says if she's vibing with him, don't worry, just focus on finding someone else. Kind of just like, it's the beginning. Like, there's so many people.
I love how level-headed Taylor is. He's like, just roll with it, man. No, we're having a good time. I'm about to go in the pool. You want to swim? Like, Taylor is hanging out.
Yeah. And Austin's like, I missed waking up next to her. I'm like, you woke up next to her like once or twice? Okay.
Because he doesn't miss waking up next to her. He's like, dang, on day 2, I'm sleeping alone. Like, am I going to get kicked out? Like, what's going to happen? I'm on a TV show. That's what he really said.
You're right. Huda and Bella talk, and Bella is feeling good, but I'm gonna let Nick speak his piece. Worst case scenario, he's not interested anymore, but I'm excited to see the new Bombshell.
Get to know the new guy.
They return from the Hideaway.
I was like, the way they get so hype over things. I'm like, there's no prize. Like, the way y'all scream is like you win something.
I know. They just are coming from the other side of the villa.
They opened a door and walked through it. It was like, wow!
Oh my gosh!
Granted, they don't have anything to look forward to, so I get it.
That's true.
This is all they do.
Bella likes Charlie's accent. Ace says everything was in slow motion. I forget why he said that. Maybe like seeing Ciara, he's like, oh, she's attractive.
Ace thought Ciara was very pretty.
And then Bella greets Ciara as the girl who stole her man, but it was kind of funny how she said it. Yeah. And the girls and guys separate as they do to talk. Ciara says that the night was a lot of fun, and she tells them about the room. Ace says why he picked Shelly and Charlie. He asked Charlie why he picked Shelly, and he said it was the kiss. And he's like, nothing went down, but he got to know her. Shelly like getting to know Charlie was good vibes. Ciara thinks Nick is great and fun, and that they kiss. And this is where Bella's like, I want to know if he's gonna be honest with me about the kiss. Yeah. And I'm like, I want to know if he's gonna be honest too. And then Nick comes clean to the guys about the kiss with Ciara.
He gives him like a play-by-play.
He does.
So like she kissed me during the shower. Y'all were there for the shower. So she kissed me during the shower. And then we go into the Hideaway. And then like, you know, there was like this bed outside of the hot tub. I'm like, Nick,
calm down.
Granted, there's nothing to look forward to. I get it. But dang.
That's true. He's like, I'm just so twisted right now. And it's like, I'm physically attracted to Bella. But the combos with Ciara are just amazing. And then we are introduced to Nick's numbering system. And
5149.
But I'm not going to say who.
I was like, okay.
Cool, Nick.
Cool. Numbers.
Shelly and Austin.
Does he work with numbers? He's a registered nurse.
I think they do some numbers with like
medicine.
Yeah,
they count stuff. Okay,
I'm sure they do something.
Fractions. All right. All right.
Shelly and Austin talk, and he's like, "I missed you all night," and like was stressing a little bit. And she's again is saying how like I had a great conversation with Charlie, but I still like you, and I'm open to others. And he says how he's not trying not to have crazy thoughts, and thought it was refreshing she didn't raise her hand. And I'm like, okay,
yeah. Another territorial person.
Add him to the list.
They must have really emphasized like, hey, if you're single, you're going home. Like you could go home if you could be at risk of going home if you're single. And because that seems like everybody seems like super like I can't be alone.
Don't you know you have 30 minutes? Ciara and Ace talk. Ciara was like, oh, you told me I was beautiful when I walked in. And then she compliments his tattoos. They both love to travel. Her favorite place to go was Egypt. Mm-hmm. And she went because her favorite book is The Alchemist. And he's like, I love that book.
Do you?
I was wondering. I was like, did you? I mean, maybe, but...
Has Ace read The Alchemist? I would like to know. Wondering Minds, but I was like, she should have asked him something about it.
Right, ask him a plot point. But he tells us he's really feeling her.
Yeah.
Charlie and Bella talk. He tells her she stood out last night, and she says she loves his accent. Mm-hmm. He loves the personality. Mm-hmm. But
Nick is watching.
Oh, yes. And he's like, I do want to speak to Bella, and I'm still into her. And then Bella and Charlie are just talking. She's telling him about the family coffee shop and about Nick. Mm-hmm. Ciara and Taylor.
Oh, I guess Charlie has a family business too.
Oh, yeah. What was it? I forgot. Something. I would love to own a coffee shop.
Yeah?
Yeah. Or like a coffee brand. That's one of my low-key goals.
Oh, yeah? I could see that.
I had a name for a long time, and then I have a different one I want to use instead.
Oh,
but I'm not going to say it because copyright.
Yeah. Keep your secrets.
Yes. So Ciara and Taylor are talking, and she compliments his fashion, and she starts talking about how she likes wearing men's clothing. And he really likes her so far. He reveals his parents have been married 28 years, and he gives him hope. And she says she's single because she doesn't want to settle. Mm-hmm. Cool. Nick and Ace are talking, and Nick is stressing about his decision.
I don't know what to do.
Right. And Ace is just like, just be honest.
In his confessional, he's like, I'm feeling lost, puzzled. I was like, I've never heard someone say they're feeling puzzled.
Yeah. He's also like the dramatic ass music that's playing.
Yeah.
I can't. He thinks Ciara is more into him than Bella, but he likes the chase of Bella. Mm-hmm. Ace and Shelly talk. He pulls her for a chat. I just like them together because they have a fun banter.
They really do. It's cute.
He's like, I missed you. And he was like, you were taken away from me for the night. And she's like, I'm with Austin? Question mark. LOL. And he says he knows he wants to have more combos with her, and he's here to step on toes, and she needs to be ready. And he likes her kisses, and if it was meant to be, it will be. Mm-hmm. I think it might be. Somehow
he tricks her into saying that she kissed him. Like, I think he said something like, oh, yeah, you kissed me in the challenge last night. She's like, how did you know? And he's like, you just told me. And I was like, okay, smooth with the A's, you smooth.
But also, it's like, she kissed you and then you kissed her right after. I can imagine you feel like the same, like you could recognize.
That it was her, yeah. Mm. Yeah. And then he was like, yeah, you put your lipstick, your lip gloss. And I was like, Ace, what? I think he was like, you put your lip gloss on my chin or something. And I was like... Anyway, well, is that what got all over Huda's face?
I know, right?
I was like, what is that? It was like on her chin and her cheek. I was like, I feel like Ace put his hands on her face and
probably
had whatever Shelly had on. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he wants to pursue her.
He does. I like them together, but I do also like that they're kind of taking it a little slow, like kind of building suspense and not having it like right away.
Yeah, and I was like, for anybody who like is single right now, Ace is handling it really well. I feel like we'd see other people spiral, but he's like, I'm good. Like,
right.
Well, and he handles it well because he can, because he knows he's good.
He's about this life.
Yeah.
It's nighttime and everyone's getting ready. And Ciara's saying her head's all over the place, but she got the small talk out of the way. Jeremiah asks Huda what she's wearing so they can match.
I thought it was cute.
Maggie's such a hopeless romantic.
I hate romance, but this was cute. I was like, oh, he wants to match with his
coming
lady.
into the... Oh, what are you wearing? What are you wearing?
But she was there for it, so that's why it was cute. It'd be different if she was like, oh my God, she's smothering me. I'd be like, ew, Jeremiah, stop. But she likes it.
So anyway, Shelly always got on green, and I love it. I noted that. Nick and Bella talk, and he says when Ciara kissed him in the challenge, it was good, and he came here to explore. He talks about the hideaway, and he does come clean about the kissing, which is good. She asks how he feels, and he says he's split in half, but says he's still interested.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
And Nick is like, is it? Because like that's kind of like what the show is about. Like,
right? He's like, it's kind of just like,
is it crazy? I thought that was kind of like normal.
Isn't that the point?
And I was like, clock it, Nick. Clock it.
Right. And she's like, I'm disappointed, but not surprised. I do appreciate he was honest, but it feels like there's no sense of security with him.
Yeah, because she asked him if it was his choice to cuddle with Ciara, and I was like, oh, Bella, don't torture yourself with information.
Right. Don't ask too much.
Yeah.
Shelly and Charlie talk. And he says he missed their chats today, feels like they have a lot of common, and hopes to get a kiss without a blindfold. She says they can make it happen. And she's like, it depends with the stars. And he's like, the stars say to absolutely fucking do it, am I right? And then they kiss briefly, but Loki was awkward.
Yeah, she like just gave him like a couple pecks. And I'm like, Shelly, you can tell him you don't want to kiss him.
Right. Maybe she was like open to trying it, to seeing it now that like they're like seeing each other.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem like there was much chemistry.
Yeah.
But she's like, her brain is all over the place. She's thinking about Charlie, Ace, and Austin and doesn't know what to do. It's good to have a big roster though.
Hell yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And they kiss one more time.
They do. He's like, oh, just for the road. She's like, for the road. And oh, you got my good lessons on your amazing. Charlie, you should talk to other people.
He's not good at
Shelly's
that.
great, but like, talk to other people.
Get to know people. Jeremiah and Ciara chat. 'Cause she pulls him for a chat. And she's like, how did you just learn how to dress? And then they pass Huda. And he swerves. Like, I don't know why he didn't like acknowledge her.
It looks like he swerved her. Because she's like smiling at them, but he like walks
it's
past
like you
her.
could be normal and like wave or say hi. Like,
I was like,
I don't think it's like that.
Yeah, yeah.
But Huda makes sure that he can see her when he's talking to Ciara.
Yeah. Ciara asks about family, zodiac signs, nature, but it's just Ciara asking questions. Jeremiah answers, and then Ciara asks another question, like he's being interviewed. Yes. And he's just like hands in his lap.
He seems so uncomfortable with it. And it's like, you could have a conversation.
But he doesn't want to. Because he likes Huda.
You can still like be normal and have a conversation.
I think he was trying to make it clear that he didn't want to talk to her, which
He's
is
being
okay.
performative about not wanting to talk about her.
You think it's performative?
They're both performative.
How so?
Huda walking back and forth so he could see her and then looking from across.
Define performative, because I took that as like they're doing it for the show.
Performative, doing it for the optics, doing it like being dramatic, doing too much. Him sitting there just like, oh yeah, hey, you can be normal and have a conversation. And maybe he's trying to make it look as though either to the public and to Huda like, oh, I'm really not interested in all that, which okay, but it's kind of just like, calm down, it's day 3. Like, you don't have to be doing all this. To watch somebody like that and to be like, I'm going to make sure he sees me on day 3 is crazy. It's a conversation.
Brandon, we've never been so on different. I did not see it like this at all.
They are both territorial and just like.
Everybody's territorial.
But they're especially.
Yes, I guess. But like, okay, in my head, when I watched it, I was like, okay, Jeremiah isn't really feeling Ciara, not interested in pursuing her, so he's not giving her much from this conversation. He's talking to her. He's not being disrespectful. He's having a conversation. And then Huda is sitting in the distance so that he can see her, but I feel like people do that. Janae did that last season. Had her ass up in the air, like,
but she
doing
was being
Pilates.
funny.
Okay, but like it happened. I don't know. I was just like,
and it was more lighthearted.
You felt like this was serious?
Yes.
I mean, I guess, but yeah, I was just like, oh, okay, she wants him to know that, I'm over here. They're both a little territorial. But because they're both territorial, I'm like, all right, that's just what they like.
Two toxics cancel each other out to make a positive.
Is it toxic?
Maggie.
What's unhealthy about this? It's like they're just both saying like they're exclusively with each other.
They're not. They're saying they're open. They maintain they're open to explore, but then make people feel uncomfortable with the idea of them actually talking to them.
You think they made Ciara uncomfortable?
I wouldn't be surprised. Ciara's just getting to know them.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, now you're just walking through watching. And then Huda pulls him early from the middle of the chat. He's looking uncomfortable. It's just like, it's a bit much. To quote Katie Maloney, it's a bit much.
I get how it could be a bit much, but I didn't see it as bad as you're seeing it. You're like, they're awful, it's unhealthy, it's weird, they're performing for the audience. I don't think any of that.
For the audience and each other and themselves.
I feel like they're being themselves, but I don't know, Brandon. We've never been this on separate pages. This is weird.
Look, it's okay though.
I don't like it here. Well,
I love it.
Give it an episode or two. Let's get through this.
But and comment below what y'all think.
Yeah, I'm curious. Did anybody just see it like episode 2 specifically? They just like each other like that.
Ace and Taylor talk, and Ace asks, "Are you scared to step on toes? Because like, why aren't you talking to Huda?" Mm-hmm. And Taylor's like, "Because there's no point."
Well, Ace, why aren't you talking to Huda? You kissed her.
That is a good question too.
The fuck?
I will say
he's such a pot stirrer.
I'm like,
he's just shit starter, which is great for entertainment, but annoying. And Shelly is so calm. This is when I'm like, are they a good match? Because Ace is messy and Shelly is just very much like a go with the flow kind of girl. Like, she doesn't play games.
She doesn't do things like this, no. But I feel like she's got like a fun side that she can be entertained by it.
Not like a manipulative fun side.
No.
Like a toxic, like, ooh, like she's not going to play around with him.
Yeah. I think he's also, I could see Ace being maybe a producer puppet, kind of just like really push Jeremiah and Huda.
Go ask Ace, go ask. He's like, oh, I will. I will.
Ask them this, already was planning on it.
I got 2 weeks of safety, bet.
Yes. Jeremiah and Huda, because Huda asked to pull Jeremiah for a chat when he's talking to Ciara. How the convo went. Well, they didn't finish. Says he knew she would pull him because he's her type. Mm-hmm. He asked why she sat there, and she said so he could see her. And he's like, there's no other position I'd rather be in. We're taking it day by day because it could go left.
Yeah.
But she asked why they can't just leave here. And I'm like, at this point, go. Why can't we just leave here and like be together?
I didn't even hear that. Maybe I'm missing things because I didn't hear that. I didn't hear the last thing that he said that you pointed out. Like, oh dang, they are very Jesse and Lexi coded. Just like off.
You know what it reminded me of? Love Is Blind.
Oh,
that one guy to AD. I wish I could like find a way to get you out of here. And then he was saying it to another girl.
Well, that's not happening now, but yeah. Okay.
Shelly and Ciara talk.
I'm wrong.
You're not wrong. You just have a different perspective.
Yes, but I'm gonna be wrong.
We'll see. Shelly and Ciara talk.
I'm so naive. I just take things at face. But this is like my
sweet
whole life.
Love story.
No, I don't like. Well, sometimes I'll read into things and be like, But when I see things happening, I'm like, oh, it's so nice. And then behind the scenes, it's like, this is bad. I'm like,
This is the worst thing
I'm
ever.
flabbergasted.
I love the voiceover guy because Shelly and Ciara are walking and he's like, I dropped a banana. I hope they find it. And then Ciara like slips a little. I'm like, you're so stupid.
Like, oh, be careful.
Ciara asks how Shelly's feeling, and she said she kissed Charlie and feels like it's crazy that she has 3 options. She loves that Charlie's respectful. I do like Ciara and Shelly's like friendship energy. I noted they have good banter.
I was like, this is interesting that Ciara even. Oh well, she pulled her because they were in the hideout. I was like, why is she talking to her?
Oh, true. I even forgot that.
Yeah.
But they were like, I wish the guys would just all morph into one. Because they all have good qualities.
She's like, Austin's height. I was like, that's kind of all that's all she likes. And then Ace's personality. And then something about Charlie's accent, I think.
Yes. Taylor gets a text and they have to gather at the fire pit.
Fire pit.
And then they sit at the fire pit. Ciara gets a text. Time for her and Charlie to couple up. Alandria gets a text. The Islanders must decide if they're happy in their current couple or want to get with Ciara or Charlie. Nick gets a text. If him or Bella want a chance with Charlie or Ciara, stand up and go next to them. Nick gets up.
Nick gets up.
And then Bella wipes her hands of it.
Yeah, she said. She wiped her shoulder off. She's like, I'm done with you. You're dust on my shoulders.
I'm like, damn, okay. Shelly gets the text. Austin gets up, surprisingly.
I was like, Austin, what are you doing? Austin, why are you standing up?
I didn't get it.
Ciara took Nick to the hideaway. Nick stood up first. You think that she might pick you? Maybe something happened that we didn't see?
Maybe.
Or Austin's just like, well.
I feel like some of the guys misinterpreted the
I think sometimes I think they give them instructions that are different than the instructions.
They must. It's like, get up if you would like to get to know this person.
Yeah, get up if you're open to exploring.
Right. Neither Jeremiah or Huda get up, which isn't shocking. Ace has to get up because he's single. And then Alandria and them get the text. And Taylor gets up.
Yeah. Which
was kind of shocking again. Huda's like, y'all are some bad little kids. I got a real man, Jeremiah.
My man, Jeremiah. He's so faithful.
I don't like this. They deserve real men.
Well, not too much, sis. Not too much. Not too much. Like, we'll talk about this later.
What?
Like it's good. You're being supportive. It's good, but like,
what do you? Oh.
But you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that.
Okay.
We'll talk about it later.
Okay. Yeah.
How'd you think of it? Yeah.
It wasn't like too. I mean, I could see why Huda kind of was like, okay, like it hit her the wrong way.
Yeah.
But it was also like, I kind of get why Alandria said it, even though we later find out why she said it. I'd kind of be like, okay, it's really not that deep. Like, you don't have to like keep putting like salt in the wound.
But would you say that in this moment?
I would just maybe give her a look like,
yeah.
I don't know if I would say anything.
Yeah.
But
it looks so awkward.
Oh yeah.
And like, I felt like Alandria, when she was like, you're being supportive, like kind of felt that it was weird. You know?
Yeah.
But like, I low-key felt like I would have been like Huda, because it's like I'm saying something in this moment, I'm trying to like gas up my girls, and then you're like, basically shut up.
Shut your mouth.
Because the way Huda was like, what? I was like, oh, she like feels offended.
Yeah.
You know? Because she just looks sad for the rest of the ceremony. And I was just like, dang, it was an awkward moment. It was awkward for sure. I kind of got what Orlandria was saying. Like, Orlandria was like, oh, don't do too much, you know? But like, maybe a gesture, like, oh, we good. Or like, okay, we're cool. But to say something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little awkward. And then again, so standing up is Ace, Austin. Taylor stood up too. I was just like, Taylor, there's 3 guys here. Why are you standing up?
You don't need to stand up like this.
And do you think she's gonna pick you? Like, what has happened today that she would pick? I mean, you guys had a cool conversation, but
it wasn't like that groundbreaking.
I was like, did Ciara have great chats with all 4? Well, Ace had to, but all of them?
I guess.
Yeah.
Well, she did. Charlie didn't because no one got up for him.
L-O.
And so he gets a text that he's single and can sit down. I'm like, that's awkward and embarrassing.
Sorry, Charlie. Came in so hot and like, I'm handsome, man. Girls like me. I need
to teach these American men how it's done. Mm-hmm. Ciara gets a text. She has to choose who she wants to couple up with. And she says she's choosing someone who made her feel comfortable and their conversation flows effortlessly. Nick. Mm-hmm. Which isn't shocking. But this quickly makes the dynamics a little messy.
Yeah.
Olandra gets a text that Ace, Austin, and Taylor sit down. And Bella gets a text that her, Ace, and Charlie are now single and vulnerable. Mm-hmm. So we'll see how that goes.
That's the end of episode 2. Do you think that had Yulissa stayed, that somebody would have gone home? Or maybe they would have all coupled up? Maybe they would have just had new couples?
Maybe. I could see someone... I could see someone going home.
Yeah, because, well, if Yulissa was there, then it would be an equal number of... Oh, no, there's too many girls, right? No, there's 2 single guys and 1 single girl. So maybe they would have had to couple?
Yeah.
Like Ace would have had to stay... Well, he would have
There would have had to been the couples, and then at some point, with these new bombshells we're about to see in episode 4.
Yeah.
That. But we get to episode 3, and the guys are talking. And Nick says he's here to get out of his comfort zone. And Bella's his type, but they haven't elevated their relationship at all. Mm-hmm. And his gut told him to go for Ciara. Mm-hmm. And he says it wasn't easy. And he doesn't want to hurt anybody. Mm-hmm. And Taylor says Olandra scooted away when he sat down. Mm. And Jeremiah's like, oh, so she can kiss someone, but you can't get up? Yeah. I'm like, not wrong.
Yeah.
Ace encourages them all to get to know people. He's like, y'all, we need to get to know everyone, even you, Jeremiah.
Yeah. And is this where he says the thing about Huda?
Yeah, and that she's not approachable.
Yeah, and then like she's make it seem bad to recouple, and I was like, she did kind of give off that vibe
a little bit, like when she's calling them out just because they got up, like.
I feel like maybe she felt like the moment was awkward. I don't know if we're in between texts when this is happening. We probably are. They're just sitting there. Yeah. And the tension that all of the guys got up except for the one she's paired with. So I think like she was just like, man, that's crazy. You know, like trying to make the moment lighter maybe.
Maybe. I could see that.
Yeah.
It's just also like, oh, you know, I just got my great couple and like I want what I have for my girls.
She did like, kind of allude to that.
It's like, again, it's day 3, but pop off, I guess. Bella and Olandria chat. Mm-hmm. Bella was a little shocked.
Yeah.
And this is where Olandria notices Huda is crying, and she's like, I hope it's not about me.
You knew it was about you, girl.
I can't believe Olandria did that to me in front of people. Like, pull me to the side. Like, if I'm supposed to be, like, your sister and, like, all this.
I'm just hyping you up. I'm so embarrassed.
It's like, okay, girl.
So, I would also be embarrassed.
Yeah.
I think that because it's on TV and stuff, she's crying.
Yeah.
Because I would have been like, later been like, oh my gosh, Shelly, like, did you see her say that? Like, that was so awkward. Like, I think I would have done it like, but I think like she's crying just the weight of what just happened in her head was like super awkward. And it was awkward.
It wasn't not awkward. So I get it. It cuts back to Bella and Olandria, and Bella kind of told her, oh, it might have came across bad what you said. And Olandria is just like, no, I was saying let's talk about it later. Like, it's juicy. Like, we'll talk about this later. And she feels bad that Huda is crying because of her.
Yeah, I appreciated that she felt bad. I didn't really get her excuse. Because she was like, I thought that she would keep... Oh, wait, is that later too?
I think when she goes to talk to Huda, which is soon.
But she was like, "Oh, I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it like that." But I like that she was like, "I'm not a mean girl. God, I didn't want to make her cry. I can't believe the first tears in the villa are like, you know,
because of me."
Yeah, and I love that Bella like explained it to her. I was like, "That's nice of her." Instead of just being, she's like, "Give her some space. I think it's okay." Bella is very emotionally mature, emotionally intelligent.
Yeah.
Yes.
She can be.
Yes.
The guys talk, and Austin thought Shelly would stand up, so that's why he stood up. And he did want to sit back down because of that, but he's glad he did it because it got him out of his comfort zone. And it's like, okay.
No, he's like, I fumbled the bag. I was trying to let her know I was really into her. And I thought she was gonna. It's like, okay, all right, Austin.
And Shelly's like, I thought if anyone would have stood up, it would have been Shelly. I'm disappointed. It's like, well, she didn't. Nick and Ciara talk. And he says they had a great time at the Hideaway and no one had seen him smiling like that. And Ciara's excited she got her man and she sees potential in Nick. My man, my man, my man.
My man, Nick.
Huda and Olandria talk, and this is where she thought Huda was going to go more in and was trying to say, let's talk about it later. Like, we don't have to make a scene. And says she should have said it differently or nothing at all.
Yes. Yes, we love a self-aware queen.
Right, we like a self-reflective moment.
I probably shouldn't have said anything.
But she says, I love you, and you're a girl's girl, so, like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
And they make up instantly, and it's nice.
Yeah.
Taylor and Olandria talk. She feels thrown that he, like, got up, and he's like, well, I stood up because I was interested in exploring. And I'm like, well, you could have still explored and, like, sat down.
No, that's not why you stood up. You stood up because you thought she was going to.
Yeah.
So you're also lying. Whenever somebody does something because they think somebody else will, they are usually wrong.
Yeah. And she's just irritated. And she's like, if it takes a 5-minute chat to throw it all away, then was it even real? Yeah. And he says, well, can you even get mad because you kissed someone? And true. But also, you didn't tell her. Did you tell her that you raised your hand about trying to get to know the bombshells that same night?
Oh, I didn't think about that.
I don't know if he did.
I don't think he did.
But regardless, she says she appreciates him explaining himself.
Yeah. Yeah. And they talk later again, right?
I believe so. Okay. The next day.
And I thought this was when they started. They bump heads later.
This is when they bump heads.
Oh, okay.
This is when she's like, I'm talking.
Okay.
Yeah.
For some reason, when you started talking, I thought you were talking about Austin and Shelly, and that's why I was like, yeah. He stood up because he thought that doesn't apply in this situation.
Austin and Shelly do talk now.
Yes. But I was gonna say for Taylor and Olandria, like she seemed mad because isn't this when she was like, let me talk?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that was kind of. She was like, I'm irritated because, and he was like, wait, and then they, like she's like, wait, I'm talking, and then like they keep going, and I was just like, oh, dang, Olandria.
Right.
Like, I feel like she has a very strong personality, and she kind of doesn't have a filter, and like sometimes she says things that I'm just like, ooh, you know?
Yeah, I could see maybe sometimes they come across not as intended.
Yeah.
At least just in this moment.
Yeah.
But
and I think like her being a cutoff queen, I think she finds stuff that she doesn't like and then like maybe sticks to it.
Yes.
Because like I think that, yeah, her getting upset is kind of crazy. But also everybody's super territorial, Brandon, as we know.
This is true. So
if anything, this is the most I felt like maybe the most extreme reaction to being territorial, to be like, I'm talking, like, didn't you think that was like,
I don't think that was about her being territorial. That was just about her like
wanting to talk.
Were like,
but she was mad,
arguing. Yeah.
Okay.
I think her thing, she probably felt embarrassed because she was probably like, you didn't really tell me you like Ciara like that, so for you to get up, it was kind of like blindsiding.
Yeah, and I understood that when she was explaining it.
Yeah. And then so this is where Shelly and Austin talk, and he says he thought she was gonna stand up, and she was surprised but not mad that he stood up. And she didn't stand because no connection is better than the other. So it's kind of just like, yeah, I'm interested in exploring, but like I'm not willing to like leave just because. Mm-hmm. And this is where she says, I could have bet $100 he would have stayed seated and I would have lost $100.
Yeah.
And this is why you can't trust a man. But ultimately she's glad because they should be exploring.
Yeah, she's not mad.
Everyone's getting ready for bed. Olandria's confiding in Shelly. Bella doesn't want to talk to Nick. Ace pulls Shelly for a chat and says he was caught off guard when Austin stood up. I'm sure you were, Ace. He's like, yeah, that was crazy, right? And he's like, hey, smell me real quick. And she's like, why? And then she does, and then he kisses her on the forehead.
It's like, that's cute.
It was cute.
I feel like he was trying to stir the pot. Like, is that guy really for you? You know, the one you're coupled up with? Is that who you lay with?
Oh, for sure.
Because she's like, no, we're open. It's fine. He's like, dang, all right.
Shit.
All right. Only Jeremiah folds.
Smell me real quick.
Wait, did Bella say she didn't want to speak to Nick, or that Nick didn't speak to her?
Probably both.
Okay. I thought it was crazy that Nick didn't speak to her.
I did too.
I was like, that's kind of fucked up, Nick.
Like, at least that was weird that he didn't pull her for a chat.
He's basically like on a honeymoon in front of her, like won't tell
Yeah, he's like, I'm so glad I picked you, like all this.
We're so happy.
Aren't we happy? Look at us.
Look
Won't
at
he
us.
do it?
Yeah.
Next day, everyone's getting up. Olandria thinks the boys are going to be walking on eggshells. And Shelly tells her how Ace pulled her for a chat. Ace is making breakfast for Bella, Shelly, and Olandria. He's putting in work. And then Taylor also made Olandria breakfast. So she had 2 things of breakfast, and he made pancakes.
She's like, I was like, when she was telling the other girls about it, I was like, this is funny.
Huda and Jeremiah talk, and Jeremiah's like, you don't let me sleep. Probably because they're cuddling and making out so much.
Yeah, I might be doing more than that.
She says they're the parents and are emotionally mature. The day after you were walking and making sure he saw you while you were talking to somebody else, you're claiming to be emotionally mature.
I think she means it in the sense that they're the only ones like sticking to a person and like seeing it through. But I didn't get what the parents meant. What do you mean you're the parents? Like, you're going to give everybody advice? Like, you guys are the wisest?
Right. I'm
That's
like, what
bizarre.
advice are you giving?
Oh, yeah. Who needs your advice? And, like, why are you the parents? I think you're saying you're the parents because you are a parent.
And only one is aware.
Only one is aware that the other is a parent. For real.
She does tell us, though, that she's closer to telling him that she's a mom.
Yeah.
Well, like, get to it, girl. Like, come on. Ciara and Nick talk. He feeds her a pancake. She's like, I'm more of a waffle girl. And he's like, oh, I like a Belgian waffle. I created them. And then they talk about both liking Shrek. Cool. And then they go in the photo booth.
Do you feel like there's depth here?
Not the most, but
Really?
I won't, like, I'm not going to knock it because they are just getting to know each other.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, at least they're talking about something and finding some similarities.
Yeah, because I was trying to like think of it at the way you were saying earlier, like why do they like each other? I think they're physically attracted and they just like that they have a lot in common.
Well, we're talking about Jeremiah and Huda earlier.
No, yeah, I'm like using the same scale.
Oh, yeah, okay, I see
like
what
why
you mean, yeah.
do these people like each other?
True. And that to me is the more like normal, not quote unquote normal, like who's to say, but like kind of bonding about what movies you like, food,
Yeah.
all that.
Yeah, like kind of like Taylor and Olandria too.
Yes. Bella and Huda talk. She says Nick hasn't pulled her for a chat.
Crazy.
Right. She cries and says she feels small and she wants her light to shine and is feeling overwhelmed. She thinks her value gets overlooked and that she always has dealt with that. And then she just gets emotional about the entire experience. And she feels like maybe feeling down can be a sign of growth.
Yeah.
And Huda's like, don't dim your light to fit in a box.
Yeah. She was she's like, I feel like I'm being overlooked. And Huda's like, it's the people. Like, it's not you.
Yeah.
I was like, that was very nice of Huda, like to try to hype her back up.
It was. And I can understand Bella just feeling overwhelmed by the experience in general.
Yeah, because, I mean, it's not as bad as Charlie's, but like, dang, like, you know, you come in and you're like, I'm gonna like meet people and mingle and it's gonna like the sparks will fly and stuff, and when it doesn't, it's like it's hard.
Yeah.
So I think she's also like, well, she's like, I'm not crying for Nick, it's just the experience. And I was like, I think it's kind of about Nick too.
A little bit of both.
Yeah. Everybody's territorial.
Very. Nick and you're like, just so you know,
Just so we're
it's
like,
not Huda and Jeremiah alone.
Everybody's territorial, and that's what I was saying.
Nick and Huda talk, and he says he wants to talk to Bella, but is nervous, and he wants to focus on Ciara today. And I'm like, for the whole day, you're not going to talk to her?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
He seems conflict avoidant.
Very. And Huda says he should talk to her, and he says he can't tell her 50-50 and then pick someone else.
Yeah.
And that it felt like a slap in the face.
Yeah. Now, did this conversation inspire the parent talk?
Maybe. Oh, like kind of telling, you do need to talk to her and all this.
And like comforting Bella. Did the parent comment come after this?
Maybe.
Because I was like, maybe it would make more sense. Because I was like, what the hell do you mean parents, girl?
Yeah. Maybe. But he does tell us he feels good about his choice, but still has feelings for Bella.
Yeah.
Charlie and Bella talk. He says it's absolutely crazy that Nick stood up and that he folded a 10. You have a proper unique vibe about you.
Okay. What does that mean? It's proper unique. Like,
it's proper, it's unique, it's a vibe. It's all of it. He says he wanted to take her to the Hideaway, but was worried she'd be freaked out.
I thought that was courteous.
That was. And she says something's drawing her to him.
Yeah.
And he like speaks Greek to her. And it's like a cute moment.
It is a cute moment.
Alandria and Taylor.
This is confirmation that they watch.
Oh, true.
Yeah, I think
that is true.
Because Charlie knew that Bella wasn't super physical at first.
Yeah, she wouldn't be down with maybe the Hideaway.
Yeah.
Alandria and Taylor talk, and she says she feels way better and apologizes for taking it how she did. And she can't get mad at him for not being as considerate as she is. I mean, that's one way. That's one angle.
I was like, what did you say? Yeah, like, I can't get mad that you're not as considerate as I am. How are you considerate, sis? Okay, if she said, well, then she said they're not the same person. So maybe she means that I can't expect you to act the way I would want you to act, or the way I think I would act, because I guess in her mind she was being considerate by not standing up, but you didn't want Charlie,
Right.
But I'm just like, that's a funny way to say that.
I'm not gonna like make you look like a fool, but it's interesting. I can't expect you to not make me look like a fool.
Right.
I'm like, that's an interesting non-apology angle, but okay.
And then Taylor was like, I didn't like how you spoke to me, but you apologized, so like, let's move forward. Let's move on. Right. And I was like, okay, I love that Taylor is very like mature. He goes with it and stuff, but I'm like, okay, maybe the moment the night before like bothered him more than he let on. Yeah, he probably was irritated, but he's willing to move past it and let it go. Yeah. And then he asks her about her love language, and she says she loves to give gifts. He says he's a great gift giver because he pays attention to detail. And ultimately they kind of move past it and they're funny together. Ace and Nick talk, and he says if he spoke to Ace asks if he spoke to Bella. He says he will soon. And then Bella walks up and like sits somewhere. He's like, that's what I'm working out for. Like, he was trying to get himself hyped up. He was doing some curls.
And I'm like, okay.
Okay.
But he talks to Bella and he says he loved that chat they had and likes her, but was looking at the past 2 days and thought it'd be wrong not to go with what happened at the Hideaway. But he says he's still interested in Bella. Yeah. And she's like, you threw a curveball and like I didn't appreciate that at all, and I just wish you were more honest, and you made me look like a fool last night, so I don't know. And he asked if she's down with him, and she said she was thinking about it. Yeah. She's not willing to put herself in a position to be a fool. Yeah. And he said, but they agreed on exploring other options, and she said, yeah, but if you felt stronger with her, then say it.
Yeah. Facts.
Yeah. And her whole thing is just like he needed to be honest more about how he felt towards her.
Yeah, and she felt stupid for not like knowing. And I think this is where she says she's a cutoff queen. She's like, I'm kind of a cutoff queen. Like, I might not like this. And Nick seems concerned. He's like, wait. So it's like, are you done? Like, is this it for you? Like, you're not interested in me? Yeah. And I kind of felt like she was saying yes.
Kind of, but she was like, I'm single, so the ball's in your court. Kind of. And so it's kind of leaving it open, kind of not.
And I think during this, Ciara and Shelly are watching.
I think so. There's somebody watching.
I think it was Ciara. At least Ciara and someone else was watching.
Ciara likes to watch when Bella and Nick talk. Shelly and Ace talk, and they talk about how she's an extrovert, and he tries to say he's actually an introvert. And she's surprised. She's like, okay.
Yeah, I think his reason was like he can be by himself for a day. And I'm like, that's not...
I don't know if that's the same. But sure.
Sure.
She's like, you're like the class clown. Mm-hmm. And she says she's leaning towards platonic with Austin, but feels so comfortable with Ace.
Yeah.
And he loves that they can talk and it's not so serious.
Yeah.
He wants someone he can joke with. And
I
then
like
he
their
challenges
vibe.
her to ping pong. I like it too.
Yeah.
It's
They
fun.
play ping pong together too? Okay.
Well, I don't think we saw them playing, but he challenges her to it. And then we never see them play. Ciara, Olandria, and Bella are talking. Well, I think Olandria and Bella are talking, and Ciara joins them. And Bella's like, I had a good chat with Charlie, but I really like Nick. And I'm like, you do? Okay. And then I think we're in the same boat. Like, are we in the same boat, Ciara? And she's like, yeah, we're in the same boat. And like,
Yeah.
and you see Olandria's just like, oh.
Okay. All right.
Is this when Olandria had on the cowboy hat and like matching like picnic table set thing?
I think this was the day. Cute. She did.
It's nighttime. Olandria thinks she's learned so much about herself and is proud she could talk to Taylor enough, even though she was upset.
Yeah, I think she said she was glad she didn't lash out.
She's like, I'm proud that I accepted that he's not like me. Period.
I'm glad I didn't lash out. And I was like, I mean, you had a moment there, but you said sorry.
It is what it is.
It's good you said sorry.
Right.
She took accountability.
Ace says it's no pressure talking to Shelly. And this is where Austin's like right there. He's like telling to somebody. And then Austin's just standing there getting ready. I'm like, kind of bold, but okay.
Yeah.
And then Ace asked Jeremiah, what would happen if someone foreign walked in? And he said, that's what would have to happen for things to change. And I'm like,
what kind of foreign girl? Like
I'm like, okay, but like...
maybe he said that's his type.
I think he did. He said, oh, that's my type. And then Ace is like, okay, well, what if they walk through the door? And he's like, I guess that would be the thing.
Ace is very bothered by their relationship. He's not... I think it bothers him how Jeremiah and Huda are acting. And it makes sense because it bothers viewers as well.
It's bothersome.
It's bothersome. Like, why is he acting? I'm gonna get him. He's playing around.
They're not doing this right. Mm-hmm. Shelly and Huda talk. Huda doesn't want people judging her for being a mom. Shelly is like, why have you not told Jeremiah?
Yeah.
And she just wants to make sure his mindset's mature enough. And Shelly's like, look, if he's the one, his response will be fine no matter when you say it.
Yeah.
But ultimately, Huda's just scared of rejection.
Yeah. And I guess people have used it against her in the past.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, so I think I'm understanding you a little bit better and why this is such an insecurity. Also, probably because this is your first relationship after, having a kid.
Yeah.
Potential relationship.
Maybe relationship. A relationship y'all are saying are open and willing to explore, but really you guys are basically engaged.
Yes.
Ace gets a text and it's time for a game comparing numbers. And everyone's like, oh God, what numbers?
Yeah.
I'm like, just wait. The game is called State Your Case, and it's guys versus girls. And they have to like rank the guys have to rank the girls, and the girls have to rank the guys from least to most. And they're gonna get questions. And essentially, the first question is who's cheated from least to most.
Yeah.
And then the girls do Ace, least, and he is 0. Charlie 0. Austin 6. Taylor 0, Jeremiah 1, Nick 0, but really it is 1.
Yeah.
Someone made a
He
TikTok
lied.
saying when you find out your ex cheated on you on TV, I think it was like his ex-girlfriend or something.
Who, Nick's?
Yeah.
Oh,
They're like, he never came clean about cheating.
But has he only had one girlfriend? How did she know it was about her?
I don't know. He is young, but I guess maybe because he said the amount of time I think of the relationship. I don't know, but someone said it. People
gave it
exposing
away.
everybody on TikTok.
No, there's no safety. But okay, this is where I was like, Austin, who are you?
6 times? Damn.
He's so quirky and goofy. I'm like, who did you cheat on?
I don't know.
Not that he can't be in a relationship, but I didn't expect him to be have the capacity to cheat on 6 people.
He seems a little clueless
How
and
does
kind
he
of like someone that's like...
Tom Schwartz, like, I don't know. Like,
I guess I wasn't thinking.
We were just hanging out, and then I kissed her. Like, but it wasn't like a big kiss. It was just like a little peck.
Yeah.
And then it happens again in his next relationship. I don't know.
I don't really know what happened there.
Austin's 26. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. And it's the girls.
They rank Huda, Lise 0, Bella 0, Ciara 0, Elandria 0, and Shelly 1. And Shelly, I guess, had said it before too that she had cheated once.
Yeah.
The boys end up winning that round.
Did she explain it or she explains it later? I think.
Yeah, I think she explains it later. She did give some explanation.
Yeah.
I forget what it was, but she gave something. Who's had sex with the most amount of people in one day? They don't show all the guys they ranked, but Charlie's 1, Austin's 4, and then Nick is 2.
Who is Austin?
I know, right? And then with the girls, Bella 1, Shelly 2, Huda 2, and the guys are just acting so shocked by like 2, and I'm like, not y'all being like judgmental and acting some type of way towards them. Meanwhile, Austin's at like 4.
Right, like after this, all of y'all should be on Austin's head, but you're not.
Misogyny.
Yeah, Shelly was like, I was dating 2 girls. I saw one in the morning and one in the evening.
Period.
But Huda was like, well, I slept with a guy, but I wasn't satisfied, so I slept with another guy, and it was good. I was like, oh, okay, queen, go off.
There you go. Who's told the most people that they love them? Ace 0, and they're like,
Ace is like, yeah, and they're like, but like you've said it to people before, right? And he's like, oh, and I'm like, y'all lied.
I'm like, did you not understand the question?
I thought maybe one lie, but like to see so many lies, it's crazy.
Jeremiah's 10, and then Nick was 50, and they're like, Nick, and he's like, I'm trying to find the 51st, and I'm like, that was a funny way to actually diffuse that.
That was a cute way to play it off, yeah.
Bella's 1, Huda's 2, Shelly's 2. Who sent the most nudes? Ace 3, Taylor 5, Charlie 0, Nick 800. And he's like, I was in a long distance relationship. They're like, but 800, okay. Jeremiah 50, Austin thousands.
Thousands of nudes. Did you hear what he said too?
Sometimes I wake up and I look good. I'm like, but who are you sending these? He seems like a Snapchat like creep.
I'm just like, who are you? Because he has not displayed any type of game.
No. His
conversations dry. Like it's not organic. Maybe it's not the right person, but I'm just like, thousands? Or are you just that annoying guy that's like, oh, she's hot on Instagram and sends her a pic, you know?
It seems like the type, because he is attractive, that like he has a good face and like body.
Yeah, that's true.
His tattoos suck, but like regardless, people are probably like, okay, let me like get with this hot dumb guy.
Yeah.
And then it seems like, because he said he had a big bulge and there was a moment where we saw him in underwear, then maybe people will go back
to look at.
That's what it is.
I missed that.
We get to the girls. Bella's 0, Huda's 20, Shelly's 5, Elandria's 15, and Ciara's 5.
Yeah.
So nothing crazy. Who has the highest body count? Charlie 108, Taylor 21, Nick 22, Jeremiah 32, Ace 25, Austin 104.
So yeah, Charlie's response, I think the girls debrief later, so I'll just mention it later. But dang, 108 and then 104?
I mean, hey, do you? I honestly was expecting Austin to have more.
Me too, since he sent thousands of pictures.
I'm like, there's gotta be more.
Yeah.
The girls, Bella 1, Elandria 8, Huda 13, Ciara 18, and Shelly 12. Ultimately, the guys win the game.
They only really got one question right, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, insane. Interesting game.
Very interesting, very revealing.
Yeah.
After the game, I will say though, I didn't think anyone acted as bad as last season.
Oh, they were so terrible.
Wasn't it Koi got mad?
Koi was like, she's such a
count.
fucking liar to Janae's body count. And it's like, wait, what? Why you acting like that? No, everybody was like really, really chill about it. The girls, they showed the girls looking mad at the end, but I was like, I don't think they're mad. Like,
I think that was a bit of an editing trick.
Yeah, I don't believe y'all.
After the game, they're all debriefing, and the girls, they're just shocked by Austin.
They're like, it's the quietest ones. Like, how?
Yes. And this is where they say they don't believe any of Charlie's answers.
Yeah, they're like, thought Charlie was innocent. Yeah. No, it was like, Charlie is wild.
And then the guy...
Oh, how did he never send a nude but sex with that many people?
Yeah.
And I was like, they don't have... No, he may just be smart.
They're not necessarily interchangeable.
I'm sorry, not smart, but like maybe he just doesn't like to send pictures. Like, they're not the same thing.
He could be cautious.
Yeah.
Charlie thinks it's okay that they don't believe him. He's like, I might have given them the ick.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I think you did.
I think you did. I'm like, okay, at least you're self-aware. Yeah, information's interesting.
Right. The girls, Huda's not surprised Jeremiah has told 10 girls he loves them because he love bombed her at first, and she's kind of seeing this as a red flag. But then the guys, Nick was surprised Huda had 2 people she had sex with in one day. I'm like, okay. Jeremiah was fine with Huda's explanation, and then this is when Ace is pressing, but what if you can't please her? Mm-hmm. What if you're that first guy? Mm-hmm. And then he's just like, this is a stupid ass, dumbass question. Yeah. He was very salty about it.
Ace is really pushing it there.
He is. Huda and Jeremiah, they talk, and she wants him to elaborate on the I love yous. And he was like, it was mainly high school. But after high school, it was just like 2 times after. Mm-hmm. Ace and Taylor talk. Ace says Jeremiah's answers were crazy and no one's talking about it, and calls him a love bomber. And then we go back to Huda and Jeremiah, and she asks about non-negotiables. And he says if they're not close with family and don't have long-term friendships. And this is where she finally tells him she's a mom. Mm-hmm. And he seems shook, and he's kind of holding his head, and we kind of end on a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
But this is where I'm just like, I don't know. They always like... I get it's a big thing, but this is where I kind of know I'm like, they call themselves the parents, yet are low-key kind of the most emotionally immature.
Yeah.
Or like kind of getting salty about things. I don't know.
I don't know. I felt like everybody was getting salty, but yeah, maybe they are. Because like I think to get news that some like Jeremiah hung his head, like dang, like that was a lot of information. I didn't think that was immature. Did you?
No, I mean, look, it's a lot, and she did wait, so I'm not gonna be too hard on him. Yeah. But I just feel like sometimes when he like responds to things and the way he says things, it can be a little immature. Like, why are we holding our head and doing all that? But it is kind of a big thing. Yeah. So again, I'm not gonna hold it too much against him, really. Yeah. So, but then we get to episode 4, and I will be honest, I didn't get a chance to take full notes.
Okay, I might be able to help you out.
Yeah, I got like the beginning. Okay. And then, because today, y'all, I need to leave my apartment and take a long walk and like feel the sun, and I need to give myself some rest. But we did watch it last night for the watch party, so I did watch it, of course. Yeah. So the beginning, we cut back to Huda and Jeremiah. And it's the continuation of her saying she's a mom. And he calls it a bomb, but not in a bad way.
Yeah, he's like, it's just like a lot of news. She's like, a bomb? And I'm like, yeah, a bomb! Like, you just dropped a bomb on him!
It's not a bomb.
It's not a bomb, but like, don't be... Like, so this is where I'm like, Huda, your reactions are like, girl, like, it's heavy information.
Yeah, it's not that you just said your favorite color was green. Right. Like, you said you had a whole kid.
Right. And I get that there's a lot at stake in the conversation. I get it. I just felt like I wish she was like a little more level-headed.
There was one thing I didn't like that he said. I think he said at the end of the last episode and in the beginning of this one where like he's just like, and you're 24? and like kind
her
of like
age.
yeah, which I'm like, okay.
Oh, like, when did you have a kid? Is this like a
yeah?
Were you 16?
I'm kind of like, what do you think she lied? I don't know. It was kind of like,
oh, you meant like he's checking her age?
maybe.
Oh,
like kind of, I don't know, which is like a weird, kind of weird. But again, it was big news, so like I won't be too hard on him.
Yeah, she was like, that's why I have 2 rooms, like, and why I'm a homebody. And he was like, I thought it was a sex room.
Candy?
A sex room?
Like a sex dungeon.
Yeah, I mean, just like, why did you think that?
Right. Maybe because she was being weird about it. So he's like, what's like a weird thing? Oh, it must be bad.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
But he takes it relatively well. And she asks if it's a deal breaker. And he says, right now, I still like you. So I think that's good.
Yeah.
And then he's like, you know what? If we lock in and like, if we just like win this whole thing, like, I feel like it's going to be the same on the outside.
Yeah.
And then
like if we get to the end, and then we'll know that we're really sure about each other, and this is not gonna be too big of a deal.
Yeah. Not him mentioning winning though.
Yeah, that's crazy. I've never heard anyone mention winning.
Mm-hmm. I will say though, because he keeps saying he's just like, he doesn't think he's like, I don't think things will change outside the villa. No, like I don't know, I'm just kidding. I'm like, are you trying to convince yourself things aren't going to change outside the villa?
He's like, right now this is fine. In this moment, like these few minutes that we've had, like right now I'm good right now. Right now that you said it, I think I'm good right now. Mm-hmm. But Bella and Nick talk. She pulls him for a chat, which was a little shocking. And Ciara is eyeing them down. She is bothered that they're talking. Yeah.
She even says it.
Yeah.
But she wants to clarify and hope she didn't scare him on the dock.
No, like, good for Claire. I thought you would have scared him away on the dock.
Right. And he's like, no, you didn't. And she's like, I do still like you. And then they're just kind of talking, and Ciara pulls a Huda and interrupts the chat and pulls him.
That's what I'm saying. Like, when you were being hard on Huda earlier, I'm like, everybody literally acts like her. Yes, she's basically married, but they all do like very similar things.
Well, Ciara, I'm saying is wrong too.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess I'm like, in this situation on this show, is it that bad?
I would say where Huda, I think, took it to another level was just like the walking past, making sure he saw her doing all this and then interrupting. Ciara was kind of watching from a distance and then like, okay, now I'm going to interrupt it. But we do see Ciara does get very possessive in this episode.
Yeah, because she... wait, did you just talk about them interrupting? Or Ciara interrupted?
I did say that she did interrupt, but that's it.
Well, like, because while she's talking to Austin and was like, did any of the answers to the game concern you?
Oh, yeah.
And Austin was like, yeah, I think it's kind of crazy that Bella has only had sex with one person. I think that's what he was referring to.
Yes.
And Ciara's like, well, some guys are into that. And like, I had the highest. So like, it depends on the person and what they prefer. So I'm like, maybe she's starting to feel a little like comparing herself to Bella.
I could see that. Yeah. Just kind of like they're kind of polar opposites in certain ways and everything.
Yeah, because Nick seems to like really love the fact that Bella's like, oh yeah, I was kind of looking at you. Like I look at you sometimes. He's like, you look at me? You know?
It's me?
Oh, I thought, because I think he really just didn't go for Bella because he thought she didn't like him.
Yeah. But Bella does think things are more complicated now, and I want Nick to win me back.
Yeah.
Like, win me back already.
Yeah.
But Ciara and Nick do talk. And she says she feels uncomfortable because they're good, but he's still exploring.
Yeah.
And this is where I'm like, okay, Ciara, calm down.
Yeah.
She's like, I miss you when we're not together, and I love when we are together. And she tells us she's nervous that she likes him more than he likes her. And I'm like, it might be true. I think he likes you, but
they just want, it seems like everybody just wants a sense of security. Like, okay, like you're cool with me. Like, yeah, it's hard to see you be happy with somebody else, you know?
Yeah.
But I do think she handles it well because she's voicing it to him. And then later she's like, you know, yeah, like, you know, Nick is like, it's still early. And she's like, yes, it is. And I want you to explore. I want you to be sure. Like, you know, and then she's like, maybe I've kept all my eggs in one basket and I shouldn't have. Like, maybe I've been a little too much on Nick and I should open up more. And I'm like, okay, yes.
This is true.
Yeah.
But she respects the Bella connection as long as it's done respectfully and he comes to a decision sooner rather than later. And then he's like, 2 girls are opposite and I'm just confused.
I like them both. What will I do?
Yeah. Huda and Shelly talk, and she says how she told Jeremiah, and she doesn't feel better. She just still feels in the unknown.
Yeah.
And Shelly's just like, it's a good start. Like, he says he's still into you. Like, it wasn't the worst reaction or anything. But Huda was hurt by seeing him being conflicted.
Yeah, she was like, it kind of hurt to see him like process and be conflicted. And then I was like, what was your expectation, Huda? Like, you knew it was heavy. You withheld it because it was heavy.
Yeah.
But then when someone reacts to it being heavy, you're upset.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense. That doesn't line up.
I think she's coming from a place of insecurity.
Definitely. And then she's like, I need to be patient. I hope it works. And I'm like, okay, I'm glad that you're talking yourself down. But later. Yeah.
Everyone's going to bed, and Austin says he feels like he exposed himself. You did. And Jeremiah is still saying that he feels good about Bella, regardless of her having a kid or anything like that.
Yeah, because they're in the bedroom, and Jeremiah looks at Bella and is like, she has a kid, like mouths like she has a kid.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, she told you. And he's like, yeah. And she's like, but like not a deal breaker, right? And he's like, no, I'm good. And I'm like, Jeremiah, what if she didn't know?
Right.
What are you doing? What if she didn't know? Come on, Jeremiah.
Yeah, that was a little like, well, didn't Huda say don't tell anyone? Or she's like...
But I guess he assumed, but he was like, you knew, right? And I'm like, so I guess he thought she knew, but what if she didn't, Jeremiah?
Right. It was a bold jump.
But then he put on those glasses, and I forgot.
Maggie loved the glasses.
Good in those glasses.
If y'all watched the watch party...
Those glasses. And then I just like the frames. Like, they're really fly frames. They're not like ordinary glasses.
Yeah.
Like, they look nice. I think I don't know what brand, but I don't
they
wear glasses.
They are good glasses.
Very nice glasses, Jeremiah, for the next day while he's making breakfast.
Yes, the next day he's making breakfast. Ace is making Shelly breakfast. Nick says Ciara is still the one he wants to pursue, but Bella has moved up. And Charlie feels like there's not an option for him in the villa. And this is where my notes ended. Okay.
Yes. Charlie is like, I need to step it up. Yeah. And like, okay. So my first conversation is
Austin and Shelly.
And she was like, he's like, I exposed myself yesterday, but like, I hope you're okay with that. I'm okay with the fact that I exposed myself. And she's like, and then he was like, are you getting a romantic feeling here, or is it more friends? And this is when Shelly is finally like, yeah, I feel like it's more friends right now. And I'm like, I think it's been friends since the beginning. And I wonder why you didn't tell him.
I think maybe she was seeing if it would grow, but we could kind of tell like it was just friends from the beginning.
Yes. And then Austin's like, yeah, I get it. I kind of feel the same way. I kind of get a friend vibe too. And then Charlie and Nick talk, and he's like, I'm not these girls' typical type, they're used to these American boys, but I'm not going to get up. I'm not going to give up. I need to get rid of the cringe from yesterday, but my options feel limited. Oh, you said that earlier. But I was like, American boy, that's presumptuous. Like, he's like, they don't like me. It must be because I'm not American. I felt like that's what he was saying.
Yeah, and it's just like, I don't. Maybe it's just your personality.
Yeah, it can't be just that. Come on, Charlie. But then Charlie tries to pull Shelly to the table to play table tennis, and that's when they get a text. I think Taylor gets the text. And so they know that they're about to play the game about 4 bases, essentially.
Yeah.
And then my notes end kind of here too, but I just have like highlights.
LOL.
We both watching the episode without taking notes is not what I usually do.
Yeah.
But it was fun to do it live with y'all.
It was.
So basically they know that the game is 4 bases. They go and get ready. The girls are in their dressing room, and they each get additional texts.
Yes.
So the girls are prompted now to have to rank the guys, essentially. 1 to 4.
Yeah. First base, second base, third, fourth. And like each base will have a different thing they have to do.
Mm-hmm. And Olandria's like, so the one we like the most should be fourth. And I'm like, okay, thank you for making it clear.
Good to know.
Huda though is like, I'm scared. This game is gonna like get me into something. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, do you think Jeremiah is gonna get mad, or do you think someone's gonna kiss Jeremiah?
All of the above.
Because she does say that in her confessional. She's like, I know that he's handsome and people probably will kiss him, you know. So then they go to the game. This game was epic.
It was fun.
It was super fun. So I can't remember the order that they go in, but I believe Olandria is first. Or maybe it's Huda first.
I might have been Huda first. I forget.
Yeah, but like, okay, basically our summary of the game: Huda, Olandria, and Shelly are twerk queens. Like,
yes.
They ate like the whole thing. I was watching and I was like, y'all go off. Like,
yes.
Do your thing. Go off. Obviously, Jeremiah was last for Huda. Mm-hmm. Taylor was last for Olandria. And then Ace was last for Shelly.
Yes.
But it was like super, super cool watching them play. Ciara goes. Nick is last for her, obviously. Her performance wasn't as impressive, but she ate. She did her thing.
Who was
Ciara?
it? Ciara, oh, yes. Hers was fine. She did like a split at one point, I think.
Oh, yeah, she did. Like, I love seeing everybody's hidden talents in the way that they can physically do these things. I'm just like, go off. That's amazing. But then we see Bella go. So during the live stream, I was like, is Bella just going to go and kiss everybody on the cheek? No.
She decides it's been past first date. We can kiss.
She's like, I know you guys now. And she goes all out.
She comes all out of her shell.
Yeah, I feel like they spent the most time on her.
Probably, because they're like, damn, we didn't know this would happen.
She's making out with Austin. She's making out with Charlie. I think Taylor was in hers, or maybe Ace. It might have been Ace.
Someone.
And then obviously Nick was last.
Yes, and she like goes in on Nick.
She goes in on Nick. She like, I think he picks her up and they have this moment. And I'm just like, dang, this is spicy.
You're like, okay, Bella.
Y'all go off, you know? So everybody's having fun.
What are you doing here, Loca?
And I know when we were talking about it yesterday too, Jeremiah was only picked
by Huda. I think she did go first because I think we saw him and then we never saw him go on the bases again until
two bombshells come in.
Yes.
So we meet Hannah and we meet Amaya, and they jump into the game head first. And I'm like, yo, you're bringing in bombshells into a challenge? Like, I've seen it do it at the challenge at night, but not these games during the day, I don't think.
No, because I was trying to think about what happened last season, and that was when Nicole and Andrea came in during that like blindfold handcuff challenge.
Yeah, but not during the day. So I was like, because these challenges during the day, I mean, all of them are very risque, you know. So I think it was Hannah goes first, and she kind of picks a lot of the guys that we didn't see get picked that much.
Yeah, she does pick Jeremiah, but I think just for like second base.
Yeah, Jeremiah was in there, but not for the whole thing. And he didn't really like kiss her much, but he was like spraying her and like pouring things on her like a lot.
They were having fun.
They were having fun. Huda is obviously annoyed, but they were having a good time. But I think the last person for Hannah was Nick, I want to say, or Charlie. I can't remember.
That's a good question. I think it might have been Nick, but
yeah, one of the two. The second, Amaya's choices do more here because Amaya goes both of their like them in the game I didn't think was that like impressive or whatever, but it was just like stirring the pot to see who they would pick. And Amaya's last person is Jeremiah, and they don't seem to hold back at all. No,
I mean, she jumps on him.
He
didn't seem that interested, like he was making out with her, it's part of it, but he seemed kind of closed off. I don't think he was that into her, but Huda is just hating.
Huda hates all of it. She looks like she's about to cry. She flicks them off, I think, during the game, probably, and she is not having it. And I think Amaya confessional either before or after is like, he's not single, so I don't care. Like, Amaya is here to shake some shit up.
She is, and I appreciate it.
Hell yeah, exactly. But yeah, Huda's pissed. And so we have post-challenge. So post-challenge, the girls are the original girls. Not the bombshells. Everybody but the bombshells are talking. And then the guys are meeting Hannah and Amaya. And the guys are just chatting them up. Like, they seem excited to meet them.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody really stood out to me. But I think during this conversation, Amaya asks, like, who are you super good? Like, is everybody open? Or, like, what are we thinking? And Jeremiah's like, I'm not closed off. But, like, I'm kind of, like, liking
really
my person. I'm like liking my person right now. And they're like, okay. And then the girls are talking and Huda is in tears. Like, she's pissed. She calls Amaya a bitch, or maybe both of them.
She's like, it's just like hard to like, we're like sisters now. And like, here's the thing, Ciara, I'm going to tell you now, like, I'm a mom. And Ciara's like, that's amazing. It's just like, we're sisters. And just like, just told Jeremiah that I'm a mom. So it's just like, what the fuck, this bitch. Yeah. And then like in the confessional, isn't she saying something like, I know she can't compare to me, like it is what it is, but I can't stand this bitch.
Yeah, and I feel like it's more about her having just told him all of this heavy stuff that like, you know, it's a difficult time, and I think maybe that's why she tells Bella, or that's why she told Ciara that she's a mom. But yeah, she's like low-key spiraling. She's having a meltdown. And then Shelly was like, wait, come on, like, devil's advocate, or just give her the benefit of the doubt. Like, she's here for the same thing you are. And Huda wants no part of it. No. She's like, no, that was not cool.
She's evil.
She knows that like we're like cool. Like, she knows, you know? And I'm like, Huda, it would be, I mean, I get that this is happening, but in my head, I'm like, look at Jeremiah though. Is he seem super smitten by her? Like, what evidence do you have that this is awful, except for the fact that it happened? Right.
And this is where I really started to realize, I think I said this at the watch party last night, where it's just kind of like, she's very emotionally immature when it comes to a lot of things. And I think she thinks she's mature because she has a kid, but she's young, and she was young when she had the kid. So it's like not a lot of experience dating, kind of an immature mindset with certain things. And it's just like, she's really coming across petty and bad.
She really is, because I'm like, I didn't think the game, I mean, it's a game, you know, everybody has to play games and make out with people. You made out with 3 people before you made out with Jeremiah, right? And you were twerking on them, like, you know, like,
it is what it is.
You're playing a game. But yeah, I agree. I think that she has unrealistic expectations for what's going to happen. Like, I think she's very hopeful for her experiences in the villa, wants to meet somebody who like really likes her right off the bat, accepts her for everything, with just and it be a super smooth ride. And it's like, you're on Love Island though. Like, you have to know that, like,
this is a messy dating. This is an especially messy dating show where you are going to be put in situations where it's going to be tested. There's going to be mess. People are going to have to make out with each other. Like,
yeah. And to your point earlier, I also think that she's emotionally immature in the sense that, like, even her conversation with Jeremiah, her expectation that, like, he would be like super cool with it, or like him even being like, oh wow, like that's, you know, she's like upset by that, you know? And it's like, Huda, I think for this to be your first experience dating after having a kid, or you're dating after 4 years, oh girl, like, you threw yourself into something.
You threw yourself into a villa of mess. But regardless,
so other things, so that was really like the big moment. Other things that happened,
I know Amaya talked to Ace at one point, and it was kind of like awkward.
And then she pulled Jeremiah too, right?
I think she wants to. Was it that she told, like at night, she told Huda, like, I think I'm going to pull Jeremiah for a chat. And Huda's like, yeah, that's fine. And then she talks to Shelly again. She's like, that fucking bitch. She knows what the fuck she's doing. I can't fucking stand her.
Huda is pissed.
She's tripping. Look, I'm here. Here's the thing, though. Here for it.
It's a great mess.
I'm like, this is mess. This is drama. Like, I want to see this, so I'm fine with it. But not the best look. But we're whatever.
The rest of the night kind of centers on Nick and Bella, because I think after the guys chat with the 2 bombshells, the bombshells go over to introduce themselves to the girls, right?
Yeah.
And then the boys are there, and everybody's like, Bella! oh my gosh,
Yeah.
this is another side of Bella, especially Nick. Nick is super hype about
Nick is
Bella.
loving
He's
it.
like, wait, she makes out with people?
Wait.
That's amazing. Like, he's so hype. They have a chat later in the evening in Soul Ties. I think, is that Soul Ties where it's all squishy and stuff?
Soul Ties is crazy.
Soul Ties is crazy. So they have a chat in Soul Ties, and Nick was just like, wow, yeah, like the kiss was great. And she's like, oh, you liked it? And she's being super flirtatious. She is turning it on. She's like, no, this guy needs to know.
She's being kind of more herself. She's out of her shell a little bit more.
Yeah.
I feel like we're seeing more, and not even with just the kissing, but just in general with the energy.
Yeah.
It's like more like, okay, she's comfortable.
I think she had a moment where she realized, like, okay, you know, maybe I am like holding myself back. Let me just try to be more open. Okay, I will make out with the guys. I will, you know, give this challenge a chance and see what happens.
Yeah.
But they have like a really steamy conversation and they make out more.
They do.
Even more than in the challenge. And I'm like, oh, Nick. Okay.
I saw it. A question also for the listeners, viewers. Did y'all also notice that Bella's roots got exponentially darker this episode, or am I just tripping?
I didn't see it.
There was multiple. I was just like, why are her roots so dark? And I don't remember if they were in the beginning, but they look like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, it would make sense because it's probably been like maybe 2 weeks since she got her hair done. So maybe
True.
like this is like probably the end of another week and we can see it more.
Yeah.
Because I also think that this was the first time I saw the top of her head. They were like in the dressing room and the camera was at an angle. I think she was talking to...
We didn't know she had a top of her head before today.
No, we just didn't see it. Because I think after she hangs out with Nick, she goes and I think she tells Olandria about it. And
Yes.
then that's when you made the comment about the roots. And I was like, I haven't seen the top of her head. She's pretty tall.
You're like, good question.
So Nick is enjoying himself. I can't remember who he speaks to, but he basically goes to one of the guys and is like, man, I'm 80-20 now. I think
Yeah.
is what the number was.
It was something, and it's just like, it seems like he's leaning more towards Bella.
Oh, and I'm just like, Nick, it's
But-
like that.
Yeah, but then he talks to Ciara, does not tell her about the makeout with Bella, and then they go in the photo booth, and he's making out with her.
And I'm like, okay, so both people have asked you just to be transparent and honest. Maybe he didn't think it was the right time because I felt like he wanted to talk to her.
Yeah, and it's kind of just like, I don't know, it happened fast. He
It
was
did.
really hopping between the two.
He was.
But
He
I
was.
think at some point he should tell her. I don't know
Yes.
if that would have stopped her from making out with. Maybe, I mean, it probably would have because she wants him to be on it. He's being messy.
He is. And he's very conflict avoidant. Like, it took you a whole day and a half to talk to Bella about something
Yes,
she
that was so
saw
stupid.
happen. Like, it wasn't even a secret. Like, she
Right.
saw you pick Ciara, just go talk to her. You know? So I'm like, I don't know if we can trust Nick to say anything.
No.
And he's just like, dang, 2 girls like me and they're so hot. This is great.
Anyways, Nick. I think the only other thing was just we saw the other bombshell, Hannah. She talked to Austin and it was awful.
Yeah.
The worst conversation I've ever seen in my life.
But so it was an awful conversation to watch, but I felt like they were both kind of into it.
It was like the last 2 brain cells trying to communicate to each other. But then she spoke to Charlie, and that was actually something.
They hit it off a little
They
bit.
did. They made out a little. It felt right. And I was like, okay, looks like Charlie found someone. So...
We'll see what happens there because it looks like there's a recoupling coming up.
Yes, coming up Sunday.
Yeah.
We're recording on Saturday, so there's an after sun tonight.
Yes.
And then tomorrow, it seems like it's going to be a recoupling.
Yeah.
It seems like a girl is going to go home. We were speculating either Ciara or Amaya.
Yeah. But don't they usually let the bombshells stay for at least one recoupling?
Usually, it depends. I know they've done it I feel like either if they came in the same episode or if there was like a vote. Because I remember they let Miguel and Liv stay.
Yeah, they
during
were like,
one
oh,
vote.
it's your first time, just stay.
Yeah, because it wasn't enough for people to vote for.
Yeah. I feel like they're going to get a pass.
I wouldn't be surprised, but someone's got to go home at some point.
So is there only one girl out?
I think so.
Okay. Yeah, I think it might be Ciara. I feel like Nick is so smitten that he might pick Bella.
They seem to have a little bit more of a connection, like when they actually started talking and stuff.
Nick and Bella?
Yeah.
What'd they talk about? I don't remember.
I don't know, just talking about how much they like each other. What else do they talk about on this show?
Oh yeah, because in my head I was like, I felt like he had more in common, at least with Ciara.
I think more in common with Ciara, but there was more of a spark with Bella.
I agree. I mean, that's kind of how he was in the Hideaway though, with Ciara.
Yeah.
So it's hard. And then he was like, yeah, let's make out in the photo booth, you know?
So that's where it's kind of like, it could go either way. Yeah. But I think, as of right now, if Austin had to choose, he might choose Bella, because he liked Bella, I think, at one point. And if Nick doesn't choose Bella, he'll probably pick him. Yeah. And maybe he'll also pick Ciara if Nick doesn't choose Ciara.
Yeah.
And then, so maybe Amaya will leave if they let her, even though she's a new bombshell.
Yeah. What do we want to... That's essentially the 4 episodes.
Yes.
I was going to ask you, what do you want to see happen? Or, like, I guess, what are your general thoughts? And, like, yeah, what do you hope to see from people? Or, like, you know... I'm more so... Okay, let me answer first. I really want to see Sally open up more. Shelly, sorry. It's hard, man, because I know Sally. Sally! From After, she's on After Sun. Sally from season 2.
Oh yes. Okay. Yes. Thank you. I'm like, why does that name sound so familiar?
Yeah, Sally.
We love her.
Shelly. I want to see her open up more. I feel like we see the guys talking to her, but we don't really see her getting what she wants. And I appreciate that she's taking her time and stuff, but I'm like, maybe she's playing it a little safe right now. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like she could put herself out there a little bit.
She could. I do agree with that. I want to see her do that a little bit more, but I do like her. Yeah.
I am interested to see what the conversation is between Huda and Jeremiah, because Huda's like having a meltdown, but Jeremiah is still locked in with her. Yeah. So I'm like, I hope that you don't overreact, because... Shoot,
that
you
might
go
him,
home.
Like, not like her.
Yeah, like, oh, I just told you all this information. You kissed a girl, and it's like, I kissed her in a game. I kind of had to.
It was like part of it. Like,
what do you want me to do? So I'm curious about the fallout there. Charlie kind of had his ego is bruised a little bit. I am curious to see if he's gonna find somebody.
It seems like him and Hannah are having a good start.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I want Huda to confront Amaya.
Really?
Yes.
What do you mean?
I need conflict. And then...
a fight?
Something. And then I need Jeremiah to maybe get in the mix and get a little messy. I think Ace and Jeremiah are going to have it out at some point.
I would love to see Jeremiah, like, low-key stand up for himself, because Ace is speaking to him kind of crazy. Like, Ace...
He's not.
The things that Ace are saying are ridiculous. Like, yo, man, like, what the fuck? Why do you keep... Why? Yeah. Why? Like, what do you want? You know? So, or we might just see Jeremiah, like, avoid Ace at all costs, or just, like, ignore his questions. But
yes,
Ace was being very annoying there. Any other wishes?
I don't know. More with Landria and Taylor. I'm interested to see who Nick does end up picking.
Yeah.
I'm starting to like Bella more, even though she still talks funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Overall, I'm just excited for this season. I feel like the people have really grown on me. Not that I dislike them, but it was a little questionable at first. A little.
Everybody was being super nice the first episode, and it was like a little too calm.
It was.
Do you think anybody right now, like, do you think that they're a solid couple?
No.
No?
Maybe Huda and Jeremiah out of principle, but in spirit, no. And I think there's going to be, I don't know if they stay together till Casa Amor. I wonder if he's going to pull an Aaron.
Ironically, I don't think it's going to last much longer.
Oh?
I kind of feel like Huda having meltdowns like this soon, because it really doesn't seem like anything Jeremiah says or does helps her.
No.
Like, he took the conversation about finding out you had a kid very well. But, like, the next day you're still having a meltdown, like... You know, she doesn't feel secure.
She's not. She's insecure. And that's no judgment. I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, a little judgment when you're like calling Amaya out of her name and all that. That's a little
insane.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But as far as having the feelings of feeling insecure about certain things, totally get.
I understand. I can resonate with that. But I do think that her insecurities might become, like, get the best of her. And she might fumble her own bag. like just acting like that, because it's not, because like he asked when she pulled him away from Ciara, he was like, what were you doing? So I think he's like peeping, like, oh, you know, but I don't know if he is cool. I mean, he says he's cool, but like,
he says as of right now
he's cool with it. But
but we'll see how long that lasts. It is only day 4, basically.
I do think though Ace and Shelly could have something. Shelly, sorry, Ace and Shelly.
I agree.
think
they
could
have a spark.
Something. They do have a spark, and I was like, I'm curious to see where it goes. And honestly, maybe Taylor and Orlandria too. But I think their little like tiff there may have like made their connection less strong.
I like them together, but I don't know if I see them in the long run.
Yeah, I mean, they're literally their type on paper. So let's see if it like plays out.
I'm willing to see, and I do like them together. So I'm open if it going either way.
Nick, a bombshell's gonna come in, and Nick is gonna go somewhere else. Nick doesn't care about like if he sees something else that he likes.
Yes, Nick is Carrington with a personality.
Carrington from season 2.
Yes,
he is,
and he's choosing between Lakin and Sarah. And what the fuck was her name? Laura.
Oh my god! Oh, the girl from Costa. I don't remember her name.
The blonde one. But he was deciding between her and I remember Mercedes. And that whole scene in Costa, Mercedes, I will never forget. Hey, girl.
Yeah, so I think he likes me and not you.
Oh, that's wonderful that he likes you. I'm gonna fucking beat your ass, Mercedes. I'm gonna take my Mercedes and run over you.
Yeah, no, and I don't think Nick is. Even if we see Nick at the end and he leaves with somebody, I don't know if this guy is really ready for like a long-term thing.
No, I don't either. Which, whatever.
This Love Island is his dream. He's like, this place is great. I love it.
And that was like, remember Carrington when they went to Casa More? He's like, I never want to leave. This is awesome.
Casa is awesome. No pressure. Like, I just get to hang out.
No, geez.
He was so hyped.
Maggie, I'm so excited to be covering Love Island again.
Me too. Y'all, this was super, super, super fun. Thanks for listening.
Yes. And I'm so excited to be talking to you about it.
Yes. We have the most. This is our Super Bowl. We have the most fun.
Yes. With that being said, y'all, I think that's it for today's episode. Thank y'all so much for listening. Make sure to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts.
Yes, please leave us a review. We like to shout people out.
Yes. Spotify, you can also leave comments. So that's also fun too. If you want to see our beautiful faces instead of just listening to our beautiful voices, you can find us on YouTube at the Shade of It All Podcast. So like and subscribe. We post clips at the Shade of It All Podcast on TikTok and on Instagram at the Shade of It All Pod. We're kind of switching up our content there a little bit at some point. So be on the lookout, but give it a follow. And also, as we've mentioned before, we're on Patreon at the Shade of It All, and we were doing weekly on Friday live watch parties.
Yes,
it's only $3 a month, so not bad, not breaking the bank. And it was super fun. We had our first one yesterday, and it was really fun. So with that being said, we'll talk to y'all next time. Bye.